I'm muted. There we go. Sorry, I'm still getting used to the... What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming. On today's show, we're going to be talking... No one's joining me. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Game Pass. Lots about Game Pass. Cancellations, anger, and frantic subscription skating. The internet reacts to Microsoft's Xbox Game Pass price hike. We're also going to talk about after price change. Xbox Game Pass users are canceling subscriptions so fast that Microsoft's website is struggling to keep up. We're also going to talk about introducing a new Amazon Luna, a new era of gaming for everyone, which is kind of weird in the timing. Which I kind of brought this story up because, like I always tell you, that everyone's connected. The industry's connected. They know when someone's doing something, and then someone does something else, right? So no one plays Luna. No one even talked about Luna. Luna hasn't even been in the conversation, okay? And then all of a sudden, now Amazon Luna does something different, right? So we'll talk about that. And then we'll watch Force Gaming's got 14 best new games to play in October of 2025. There's so many games to play, but he's going to break down 14 best new games into October of 2025. How's everyone doing? Good morning. What's going on, Altern? Eclipse, Travis, Roick, Soy, Ward, Jesse. Good morning. How's everyone doing? I had a hell of a morning. I literally just got back. What's going on, Stealth? Nice to see you, man. So I got in the car, had a flat tire, got the kid to school, went to a tire shop. But on the way to the tire shop, we got stopped by as we're crossing the street, a guy swerves, almost hits another car, almost runs into me, right? Then a bus stops, and then someone slams on the brakes. Then we hit every single light going to the thing. Then as we go through, a fire truck comes through to go take care of the accident, right? Just like, then construction, the road was closed for construction. Then I got to the tire shop, and they're like I've never seen the tire shop this busy before in my entire life. It's like you would think they were giving out free tires, okay? Just like everything and anything that could possibly go wrong this morning, as far as not really like just delaying, right? Just delaying a whole... It's like, what is happening? So I figured, take a deep breath, make a cup of coffee, and let's start the chat. What's going on, Mo? If you guys like the songs that we play in the beginning, those are all up on our on Amazon Music. You can get them on iTunes, Google Play. You can get them on Spotify. You can stream it. You can download it. You can buy it. Apple Music. So anywhere you can listen to music, you can download and help us out here. It does help us. So, all right, let me see what you guys are saying. Water Bear says, what's going on, Worlds? What's on, Mo? What's up, Water? How many cancellations of Game Pass do we predict this month? Well, let's have a conversation about this, right? I was sort of talking about this last night when we were playing Helldivers. But usually when I play games, I don't really talk about stuff like this, right? That's what the show's for. So we knew there was about 33 million people that were using, let's say 30, let's just say 30. 30 million people had Game Pass. That's the last number that they shared with us, okay? We knew that the majority were on Ultimate, right? On Ultimate. So let's just say 20 million people were on Ultimate, either Game Pass for PC or for just console, right? So it's either 15 or 20. Now it's 17 to 30, okay? But they had 20 million people on Ultimate, and they had the 10 million on regular Game Pass, right? Because you have to have Game Pass just to play online games. Have to, okay? If you have a single player game, if you own a game, okay, fantastic. If you don't own a disc drive, obviously you're probably either buying your games digitally, or you are borrowing your games digitally, or you're playing Game Pass, right? We do know that more consoles sold for S's than X's. So let's take all these numbers in advance, right? Television sets, you can't. You're not putting a disc in the television set. You're not playing, if you're playing off your mobile phone or you're playing on the PC or laptop or whatever it is, right? Most of them are buying digital games, and if they're not buying digital, they're playing it through Game Pass. Well, majority of the people are playing Game Pass. So this is how I think corporations work. It's like we have 30 million people that have Game Pass. And if, let's say, 5 million people, hell, let's just say 10 million people leave Game Pass. Okay? They stop paying for Ultimate. Okay? So we have 30 million people paying for Game Pass at, let's say, $20 average, right? So 2 times 3 is $500 million, okay? Every month. They were accruing every month, okay? But now 5 to 10 million people leave. So now let's say we have 20 million people. But now they're paying $30 a pop. Well, guess what? They're making the exact same amount of money, right? They're making $500 million still because they lost 10 million. But if they didn't lose 10 million, right? Because they're getting more money from each individual now, right? And this is the way corporations look at it. They're like, well, we're gonna get like a 5% loss, but the people that were paying $30, we're gonna make that back. And then they're slowly gonna nickel and dime you again from the battle passes, DLCs, people purchasing games, right? All this stuff. And they try to lure you in with the stuff like Fortnite. We had a conversation yesterday. I was like, I don't know, man. But we've had conversations. Actually, you know what? Let me bring this up. I've literally, we've had these things in our conversation, okay, in our show that we talk about. I put a couple of clips yesterday. Last night, I put some clips. Right. First of all, I want to shout out Water Bear, okay, because Water Bear, you had. Let me open this. Can I not? All right. So Water Bear had this 3 months ago. 3 months ago, he asked on the show, right? If there's $100 games, then expect to pay $30+ a month for subscription service, especially since they do a day and date to Game Pass method. Okay. So Water Bear 3 months ago brought it up on channel. Okay. Right. Then we have Sarge. We have Sarge coming out and saying, we talked about this, bro. We said $1 a day, $29.99 a month. Again, this is from 3 months ago, but we've talked about this for multiple times. Okay. So we've had that as well. So good to you guys. Then I have this clip, which this is from $5 at $5. This is from 9 days ago. Okay, 9 days ago we talked about this. Games at $70, right? 5 games at $70 will be $350. Okay, right now $20 for 12 months is $280. If it goes up to $30. Okay, that's $360. Okay, that would be equal to 5 games, right? You're still getting way more than 5 games on Game Pass. So at that point, though, more people will look at it and go, do I really want to pay $360 a year for technically 5 games? It's still a better deal because if you bought just 5 games, it would be $350. Okay, but if you paid for Game Pass with all the new games that come out, third party, first party, and then all the old titles, you're definitely still getting your money's worth at $30 a month. Will people pay that? I don't know. But you're still definitely getting your money's worth. Right? And that's where we're at right now, right? Are people going to pay for that? I don't know. People will pay, right? Then other people won't pay. I'm paid through February, right? I'm paid through February. So I'm not getting a price increase in at least until February. Then I have this clip. This is from 3 months ago for Game Pass. This is from 3 months ago. After that, I wouldn't say I would pay for it. So this is me just basically showing you I'm consistent, right? I said my points 20 to 25, okay? And I don't know if I would go over it, right? Indefinitely and be like, oh, man, I'm so excited. I would look at it and go, okay, if I have to go past $25 up to, let's say, 30, as Sarge said, $29.99 a month, something else has got to go, right? If I'm paying $30 a month, I'm losing something else, okay? Because if I can't get if the value is going up, or the value is staying the same, I should say, but the price is increasing by $10, something else, if it's a streaming service of Netflix or maybe YouTube Premium or something has to give, because my salary, right, the money that I make income doesn't go up. It's what it is, right? But yet these prices keep increasing, so something's got to give. So I think 25 would be okay, but after 25, I'd be like, something's got to give. And there we are, right? So we, on this channel, are constantly always talking about this stuff. So let me see what you guys are saying now. How many cancellations of Game Pass we predicted this month? I'm going to say there's quite a bit. And obviously, I think the media is going to make it sound like more. But even if it is 5 million people, Water, we're going to be like, holy Christ, 5 million people canceled. But the other people are also now paying $5 more a piece or $10 more a piece, which makes up for the 5 million people that left, right? And then there's also people that are coming in for the first time. As you get older, we learn to just laugh at these situations because the calls always be worse. Yeah, it could always be worse. Yeah. Let's see. Mo says, but I'm out there, the same as always, paying because I had Fortnite Crew as well. Kylo says, morning, guys. Been on Game Pass since day one. Canceled mine last night. No way I'm paying $360 a year. He says, I do think if enough people cancel, they'll revert back to it like they did with the Xbox Gold price increase. I don't think the difference between the Xbox Gold thing and this is already taking effect. The Xbox Gold thing was like a leak, and then it got brought out, and then people were like, yeah, we're not doing that. And they're like, we're going to do this in this many months. And then they pulled it back before they did it. This is already taking effect. I don't know if they go back. Ron Slusher says Game Pass will hit $50 next year. I'm calling it now. I will mark it. I will leave this up on the screen right now, Ron. And if it happens this time next year, I will take a screenshot and put it on the screen again. Z says, I wish I could pay only the days I use Game Pass. Would not be $30. Again, if I didn't have a kid, I would cancel. Obviously, I wouldn't cancel until my thing ends in February, but I would cancel. Talked to my son last night, and he was, a little talker that he is. He's like, what about if we did this? What about if we did that? And I'm like, I don't know. As we get closer to February, we'll figure it out. We're not going to get the Fortnite Crew through Game Pass Ultimate. I mean, it comes with it. If we keep our Ultimate subscription, we're not using Fortnite, so that means I got to pay an additional $12 separate. Okay, because I can't link his account to my Game Pass. I would have to switch the Game Pass thing underneath his email. And if anyone knows how to deal with all that shit, that gets really, like, it locks you out of certain things, right? So I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. So I'm a little upset that they don't have a family plan yet. They leaked out the family plan like 2 years ago, and they never did a family plan. It'd be nice to add somebody for a less amount of thing where maybe I don't need this thing, but they want that thing. But now I got to buy two if I want to do it. And it's like stupid, right? It'd be nice if they did some sort of family plan type of thing, but they're not going to do that. Family plan will be $40. Don't worry about that, right? And then Ron Slusher will be closed. Maybe it'll even be $50. It'll be the $50 family plan, right? When they add the World of Warcraft like I predicted, because World of Warcraft will come to Game Pass. I'm surprised they didn't include it into Ultimate right now, okay? For like PC only or whatever. But that will come. There will be a day where World of Warcraft comes because the testing grounds Call of Duty. The testing grounds Call of Duty. They're like, you want to play Call of Duty? You got to have Ultimate. If you don't have Ultimate, you can't play Call of Duty. You have to purchase Call of Duty, right? There'll be a day and they'll be like, World of Warcraft, Ultimate Edition, $40. So the options are Game Pass for a month, $30, or an indie game that might be $20 or less for 1 month. Right, if you're playing that one game, then Game Pass is not for you. Kylo says, true, I think they have to do something. This is pushing loyal Xbox people out. All my friends on Xbox have canceled as well. It hopes of change back. I think it's fantastic that everyone's doing what they're doing. Believe with what you stand. Sometimes it's lonely on the top, right? Sometimes it works, but you have to have your voices, and you have no voice. The only way you have voice is with your wallet. If you close your wallet, that's your voice for companies anyway. Stealth says $30 is still a good value for so many games. Day and date plus Fortnite crew is now included. It's very specific though, right, Stealth? What about if you're a person like myself? I don't play Fortnite. My son does, right? So it does no value to me because I can't link his account to mine, right? So that's nothing. I don't play Ubisoft Plus. I don't use EA Play, right? I use the cloud when I travel, but that's not every day, okay? That's not every month. So $30 a month, like Z said, if I can choose to pick on what I play, like an a la carte type of thing, fantastic. Maybe I go down to basic and then go up when I travel, whatever. It's a good deal for people, sure, but not for everybody. What's going on, Super Dave? What's going on, Ray? Hey, you're getting at least 3 months of the crew membership and 3,000 V-Bucks. Kyle says, I don't know a single person who plays Fortnite. It may be worth it to some, but it won't be used not in one time. Right. Waterbear says 30 day and date games, man. Gotta pay to play. That's right. Mo's saying gotta pay to play. Right? You pay, I play. Right. The more day and date games, the more consumer will pay. It was bound to happen, but yeah, I'm definitely canceling. Z says I would also be willing to be more money if it was like Netflix, where I only had one or two, and I can also use it at this time. But you can have more users. Right, see? It's not like that. It's like one-all-be-all type of thing. Ray says, 30. They want those 100% of those subs, $30, and they can't give me a Minecraft realm. You know, now that you just brought that up, I pay for Minecraft realms. I've told the story in the past because my son lost his whole thing, the server and stuff, so he paid for realms. It's cheap, right? And he plays it all the time. But why isn't Microsoft throwing realms in there? It's a good question. It's a good question. Z says Steam has share on many games, and it also works on the same network. Not sure. Kyle says the site's crashing yesterday due to so many trying to cancel their sub is a good sign. Or think about it this way, Kylo. What about if they made it crash on purpose? Because people are very, when something happens, right? If I bump into you, right? If I bump into you, okay, we're walking by each other, you're all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck, bro? Right? You're like, you're in it, okay? And you have to like cool down the tempers. Right now, they announce, they go, hey, everyone's paying $30 a month now. Everyone's like, what the I'm canceling, right? And they go to cancel, but they can't cancel, right? And all of a sudden, they're like, I'll do it later. And then they forget, right? Just saying. People do that all the time. They do things all the time. Good morning, Wonder Rose. Super Dave says they added a ton of games to Game Pass since yesterday when they did the change. I think the max amount of limit for Game Pass is $70. $70. That would be $800. That would be $800 what? $20? 840. That would be $840, Ron. No, sir. No, sir. I will go back to playing my Atari 2600. I don't have enough time in the day. Waterbear says, I know the Sony ponies are eating this news up. Oh, don't you wait. Right? PlayStation Plus is going to go up in price. PlayStation's like, wait a minute. Microsoft just raised the price of $30. We need to raise our price up. We sold the same people a handheld device for $250. We sold these people a VR headset and told them it was the best thing ever. They're going to raise the price. Don't you worry, Waterbear. PlayStation will get their day as well because the industry works together. They're not separate. Remember, they're not separate. Kyle says, I believe that your game share with somebody with Game Pass, you do get to play online, but you don't get to actual Game Pass games. So my son can play Game Pass games, but he can't use the cloud. He can't use the cloud. Right? He can share and download and play on his console, but he can't use the cloud because he doesn't have an account. Right? They overload the site themselves, so people can't cancel if they wanted to. That's right. And then they forget. People are like goldfish, man. We're like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. What's that? And they walk off. They forget, and they're like, I'll cancel later, and then they forget. Do you know how many people forget to cancel a subscription? World says the Fortnite account on Twitter made a post that makes it sound like they like maybe even PlayStation Plus will be getting this option as well. Oh, well, if they do that and not raise the price? You see GameStop out there? GameStop's taking shots. GameStop's taking shots like, well, you could pay $29.99 a month or $29 one time. I was like, damn. Who wants to go to GameStop? And now GameStop's coming out and they're like, they're like dying, right? GameStop is like, no one's coming in our stores anymore. Oh, it's over for us. We're never going to make it. What's that? Game Pass just charged $30 a month? Oh my God, we're alive. They're so excited now. People are going to GameStop again because of $30 a month. Like, what is going on? Eclipse says, damn, 30, you just blew my mind. The most likely did that, and then everyone blamed it that it's on the people trying to cancel. 100%. If you don't think that's happening, Eclipse, do you understand the tactics people use? Do you understand that? Look, I'm not saying people do this, but I'm saying people do this. I don't know individuals that do this, but there are companies that do this. We joke about it as fun. Hell, I went to a tire shop today. Okay. Wouldn't it be really interesting if you throw some nails out a quarter mile down the road? Just walk by and just throw some nails on the road. And then all of a sudden you got a boom, tire pop. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I need my tire fixed. And you pull over, you get your tire fixed, right? I'm not saying, hey, we're really slow today at the tire shop. All of a sudden, I have a whole bunch of flats coming in. I'm busy. Now, I'm not saying tire shops do that. But I'm just saying there's tactics like that people use all the time in business. Politics, businesses, selling suits, selling different things, bringing you in, tricking you to think that you're making the best deal of your life, but really you're not. Right? Here's another example. You go to a car dealership. They're like, what kind of car do you want? You're like, I don't care. I just want a steering wheel, 4 doors, air conditioning, whatever. And they're like, okay. Oh, well, we're out of the one that you want, but we have this model here that has heated seats. It's got, the shades that come down the window. You're like, no, I'm not interested in that. They're like, well, this is the only car. And they know they have you, right? They know they have you, and you're like, well, how much? Like, well, we'll only give it to you for like an extra $15 a month. And you're like, I need a car. Yeah, you know what? I got a good deal. I left that dealership, and they gave me the heated seats with the window shades for only $15 extra a month, right? That's what happens. Welcome to reality. Welcome to the world. Wait until people understand what's happening here, okay? There's people that don't follow us, like not us, like me, like YouTube. They don't watch YouTube. They don't surf the internet. They don't go to Twitter to find their gaming news and what happened. They're just at home. They're going through their stubs, right? People still look at the stubs. I look at my paper bills and stuff like that. I get paper bills, okay? I also look at and I'm like, what's this payment for $30? What is this, $30? $30 for Game Pass. When did they raise the price of Game Pass, right? Be like, I'm going to cancel. I'm going to cancel my Game Pass. So they cancel the Game Pass. Then a week and a half goes by. The guy or woman that works 40 hours a week finally sits down in front of their television set. They're like, I'm going to play this game. And then they remember, oh, shit. I didn't buy that game. I didn't buy that game. I played that game off Game Pass. Oh, shit. I don't own the main game. I own the DLCs that I purchased for this game. I can no longer play this game. Now they got to make a choice. Now they got to make a choice to go, I'll go play a different game. So they go try to play a different game. They're like, I can't play that online because I stopped paying for Game Pass. And because I stopped paying for Game Pass, I have no more online access because you need Game Pass for online access. Now, you can update your games because if you have internet, okay, you can do updates and patches. But if you want to play a multiplayer game, okay, you can't play unless it's like Fortnite and stuff like that. But if you play a game that's on there that needs online access, you can no longer play it. And people won't know this until it actually happens. And then they'll be like, oh, shit. Then they have to make a choice. Do I keep paying for the service because they have my games hostage because I don't own my games, right? And you forget what games you purchased. You forget what games you just played on Game Pass. You forget what games you paid DLC for. And down the road, they win. They win in the long term. Ron Schlesser says, don't worry, PlayStation is going to follow the next, especially closer to GTA 6. Oh, that's a good one, Ron. That's a good prediction right there. They'll raise the price once Grand Theft Auto Online comes out. Oh, yeah, it's going to be good. That's going to be it. Oh, that's going to be it. That's good. Warbird says, I guess we all need to do is get that ice cream. Platinum job in order to afford playing Game Pass PlayStation Plus now. Maybe Randy was onto something. Yeah, maybe. $30 a month. I'll start ignoring any game that isn't 60 plus. Let's see. Having heated seats in Florida is wild. Yeah, but it's only $15 a month. It's only $15 a month, Water. For X was all I wanted a plan for Skyrocket. Unfortunately, it's just reality of horrible modern day gaming market. Yeah, that's what it is. All right, well, let's get to the first story, shall we? Let's get to the first story. I appreciate everyone coming out and hanging out with us in the mornings. If you like this, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. What's going on, Mr. Luke? So cancellation, anger, and frantic subscription stacking, and the internet reacts to Microsoft Xbox Game Pass price hike. Oh, that's another thing. That's another thing, right? I love the people that are like, I'm going to show Microsoft. I'm going to go out. I'm going to buy up all the, even GameStop did this. They're like, we're still selling the $20 cards. You can go buy the $20 cards right now because they're in stock, right? Go to Walmart, Best Buy, Target, some dollar stores, Costco, GameStop. They still have the $20 cards. You can go pick them up and buy as many as you want, right? They're like, I'm going to show the man that I'm not going to support them anymore for $30. I'm going to buy as many $20 as possible, right? And they all of a sudden they give them an influx of cash for like $20, or they buy like 100 Xbox gift cards, right? Now there's scalpers going out to buy the $20 gift cards as much as they can so they can raise the price to $25 just so they can make more money off the cards. Watch, it's going to happen. Okay, so as the dust settles, Microsoft's stock price rises for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which just jumped 50% from $19.99 to $29.99 in the U.S. and what amounts to an extra $120 a year for doing nothing, by the way. For doing nothing. They made, hold on a second. Let's do the math real fast. Shall we do the math? Let's do the math. Okay, so how many members of Game Pass did they have, right? Let's just say they had 30. Because the last thing I think was 25, but they said 33. So we'll just say 30. 30 million people. And let's do $17, right? 17. Okay. Not the 20, not the 10. We'll do 15. We'll do 15. Okay. So we'll do 30 million. 30 million times 15. That's $450 million every month. Times that by 12. Okay, that's $5.4 billion. Okay, $5.4 billion. So now we got 30 million again. Times that by additional 120, right? That's an additional $3.6 billion for doing nothing. They just went like, we made $5 billion and now $3.6 billion. Now, obviously, there's people canceling, but they literally raised the price to do absolutely nothing different. The exact same thing they were doing. Okay. The mixture of anger, cancellations, and frantic subscription stacking. Okay. Meanwhile, a poll of 10,000 IGN readers showed that 45% of the audience isn't interested in subscribing to Game Pass at the following news, with just shy of 30% saying they will subscribe to Ultimate despite the price rise. So there you go. 45% of 10,000. Great. So 4,000 people, 4,500 people are leaving. 4,500 people. Let's just say that's 450,000 people leaving. Right? Let's just say that's 4.5 million people leaving. If we take it as a broader audience of okay, 4.5 million people left, and now the people that stay pay for the people that left because they're paying an additional $10. And they stay the same. Microsoft stays the same. So if they made $5 billion a year, people left, they're still making $5 billion a year with less people. Okay? They don't care. That's how business works, right? As long as this number goes up, they don't care. Okay? To justify the increase of the price, Ultimate, Microsoft increased the number of day one releases per year to 75. Now, this is the thing I said yesterday. You don't know what those games are. They could be like little shit games, like mobile games that they put on the Xbox. You don't know if they're AAA games, AA games, single A games, indie games. You don't know what that 75 is. You have no idea what that 75 is. But wait, keep paying month to month $30 because you'll know when you get there, right? They don't tell you what the roadmap is of this game's coming out here. They don't tell you just until right before. Okay. They added Fortnite Crew and Ubisoft Plus Classics for the first time ever. There's also upgrades to Xbox Cloud Gaming streaming quality. Netflix does this shit. Netflix says, here, you get 1080p, but then if you pay more, you get 4K, which you really don't get 4K. You get 1080p, but they tell you get the higher quality streaming. Ubisoft Plus Classic, valued at $7.99 per month per platform, is now part of Ultimate, which Ubisoft Plus was already part of it, just not the classics. Okay. But now the Ultimate starting November 18th, Fortnite The Crew, which also costs $11.99. Okay. Will also include into Ultimate, which is access to the Fortnite Battle Pass and 1,000 V-Bucks each month. Okay. The cloud gaming boost amounts to be better performance. This is the main seller. This is why I believe why they did what they did. Okay. Because they want, one, the cloud to ramp up. Okay. We talked about this in the past, right? We use Tesla as an example, right? Tesla is not a car company. It's a tech company, okay? Tesla also wants information, right? Tesla wants information because they want information of the roads, the map, to map out the world, map out the states, the cities, okay? Well, if you have one person using a Tesla driving around, it's going to take forever to improve the maps, to make how accurate they are. It's gonna make it really hard for that car to drive itself if there's one person feeding the data to it. So they decide, well, let's sell the cars out and then we'll upgrade them later. And then everybody else that's on the road with the Tesla is now mapping out the world for us and also giving data as they're driving to make it autonomous cars better. Okay. Well, cloud gaming is not the one-all be-all right now. And everyone keeps saying that cloud gaming is not there yet. Cloud gaming is not there yet. Cloud gaming is not there yet. Well, now they're putting it in all the categories. They want to push cloud gaming as best as they can because that's what the industry, regardless of what you and I believe, they think is the future, right? Just like they thought digital gaming was the future, just like they thought online games was the future, just like they thought live service games was the future. This is what the industry is doing. This is what they're deciding. This is why everyone's going to the cloud. Okay. So the cloud gaming boost amounts to better performance. Ultimate subscribers exclusively enjoy your best quality streaming and the shortest wait times. Microsoft said the Xbox Cloud Gaming has also officially exited beta as part of our commitment to make gameplay smoother and more responsive. Okay. Just like the games come out right now, and they tell you that they're optimized. Oh, it's not optimized. We'll fix it in the next patch. Don't you worry your pretty little face. We'll fix it in 6 weeks. I meant 12 weeks. I'm sorry, I meant 24 weeks. I'm sorry, I meant 52 weeks. But we'll fix it. We hear you. We understand your support. Thank you very much. Right? Microsoft said that the new $30 a month Ultimate price reflects the expanded catalog, new partner benefits, and upgraded cloud gaming experience. So Xbox Game Pass tier and price changes October of 2025. And you like how they do this on the day. They didn't tell you last week and said, hey, next week, October, we're going to be raising prices. They don't care. They don't want to hear it. They're like, October. Hey, guys, we got new games coming. Oh, and by the way, we raised it to $30. All right, see you guys. And they walk off, okay? Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, $29.99 a month, up from $19.99 a month. Xbox Game Pass Premium, $14.99 a month, and the same as old as standard subscription. Xbox Game Pass Essential, $9.99 a month, the same as the old core subscription. And PC Game Pass, which is $16.49 a month, which is up from $11.99 a month. Okay. The update pricing went into effect on October 1st for new subscribers. Yep, for new subscribers. And will go into effect on November 4th for current subscribers. Now, this is interesting. So if you're brand new, you got to pay the fee. If you're already a person that's on the program, now I'm paid out till February. Some of you said you're paid out till September of next year. It says it goes into effect on November 4th for current subscribers. The hell does that mean? Does that mean I guess if you're paid monthly, right now you're getting a free month of your same price. But then in November 4th, then all of a sudden you have to pay the $30. Is that what it is? It says, as part of the announcement, Microsoft added more than 45 new games to Game Pass, including Hogwarts Legacy. Check out the full list. Well, let's check out that list, shall we? What games because Super Dave said they put it out there. So this is what they added. They added Hogwarts Legacy, Assassin's Creed 2, 3, 4 Black Flag, 4 Black Flag Freedom Cry, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Chronicle China, Chronicles India, Chronicles Russia, Liberation HD, Assassin's Creed Revelations, Rogue Remastered, Syndicate, the Enzo Collection, and Unity. Child of Light, Far Cry 3, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, Far Cry 3 Primal, Hunger Shark World, Monopoly Madness. Oh my God, I got to get it now. Okay. Oddballers, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Rabbids Invasion, Rabbids Party Legends, Rayman Legends, Risk Urban Assault, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Skull and Bones. Oh no. Skull and Bones. South Park, Starlink, Battle for Atlas, Steep, The Crew 2, The Settlers, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, Breaking Point, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Trackmania. Man, Ubisoft must be hurting, huh? They got that paycheck. They're like, well, no one's really buying our games anymore. Can we get a deal? Can we get some money off of you? We'll throw all our games on your system for you. All right, Trials of Rising, Uno, Watch Dogs, Wheel of Fortune, Zombie, and then premium available today is Nine Kings, Antibiotic Factor, which is already there. Okay. Against the Storm, Age of Empires, Definitive Edition, Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition, Age of Mythology Retold, Era, Back to Dawn, Battletech, Blacksmith Master, City Skylines 2 for PC, Crime Scene Cleaner, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, but that was already on there. I don't understand. Some of these games that they said they were new, they were on there for like the last week or so. Diablo 4, Elder Scrolls Legends, Battlespire, Elder Scrolls Adventures, Redguard, Fallout 2, Fallout Tactics, Football Manager, Frostpunk. These are games that were already on there. What are we talking about? You got Warcraft Remaster, Warcraft 2 Remaster, Warcraft 3 Reforged, and Wolfenstein 3D. And then Essentials available today. Oh, on Essential. I see. I got it. City Skylines Remaster, Disney Dreamlight, Hades, and Warhammer 40K Darktide. So there you go. It says the update pricing went into effect on October 1st. We already read that part. Despite these extras, has the ultimate price rise forced to rethink amongst Game Pass subscribers? IGN readers have been discussing the changes and offering their thoughts in the comments. They make the interesting reading, with some saying that they're now canceled their subscription. Hertz, for example, pointed out that the $360 a year, the new price for Ultimate across 12 months, is the same cost as buying 5 full-price games a year at $70. Looking at Microsoft Studios release, I don't see 5 games in any year. I want to play, they said. There's also no savings where anymore for innovator. That's a little weird comparison. They're just saying if you buy 5 games, not first-party title games, just 5 games. So let's say if I bought Battlefield 6, Call of Duty, I don't know, Monster Hunter Wilds, and 2 other games, whatever they are, right? You paid 5 games, you have just 5 games. Yes, you own those games, and yes, you can play those games, even though most of them I named are online, and you need to pay for online, and if you don't pay for online, then you can't play those games. But if you buy first-party titles, 100% correct. Microsoft, I don't know, has 5 first-party titles that come out that maybe you're interested in. So that might not be worth it, right? Each their own. $30 a month is insane, added Dippin' Downsy. He says, no way am I keeping Game Pass now. I've already been moving more and more towards Steam. This is just the final nail in the coffin for me. He says, I also been an Xbox defender since the beginning, but officially crossing the line, committed a shoe-flavored 1313. Can't believe I'm finally bailing on Game Pass, but today's that day. I just cancel it, and I just go back to buying games. Just going back to buying games. You understand that if you buy a game, you're now paying $80 for games, right? They make the problem, sell you a solution, raise the price of the solution, but the solution's still cheaper than buying the game, right? Like imagine for a second, you're like, I want Call of Duty. I'm not paying the subscription model for Call of Duty. You pay $80 for Call of Duty. Okay. And then next year you're paying $80 for Call of Duty, right? So you're already paying like, I don't know, 1/3, 1/4 of the price of what Game Pass would be. And if you only play Call of Duty for 3 months and put it down, then it would be worth it, wouldn't it? I don't know. So Real Frown, however, insists that Ultimate still offers them a decent value. By the end of this year, I will have played well over $500 worth of day one additions to Game Pass, they said. So even at $360 a year, I would still be saving money with Game Pass, especially if you take into account that they still need subscribers to Core so my kids can play Xbox Online. So the only difference is $240 a year, and I'm paying to play those games for 500 games. Now, I think a lot of people are in this scenario. I think a lot of people are in this scenario right here, right? You need Core for the kids to play. If you have kids, obviously you're in a completely different thing. If you are a kid, or if you are a young adult with no kids, okay, or you're an adult with no kids, you don't have to deal with this, right? But the kids make a completely different rationalization in your head when you're doing certain things, okay? That said, the gap between what I'm playing and what I'm paying for gets smaller and smaller, which makes it quite a bit less appealing. And at least an IGN reader sees the value in the new perks included in the Ultimate. He says, my initial thought was, ouch, $30. But this includes Fortnite Crew. We talked about this yesterday. I was like, oh. But then I found out you can't link your account to his account. So that means I have to give him the Ultimate Game Pass, okay? Which I'm already paying for. Then this isn't so bad. I can cancel Fortnite Crew since I will be coming with Game Pass, said link 320 or 3,200. So Game Pass here taking shots, $29 every month. Not owning, or GameStop, buy once, own forever. Math isn't that hard, right? Nice shot across the bow there from GameStop. The guy who's been struggling, or GameStop that was struggling for years and years. It says, meanwhile, some Xbox fans have jumped on subscription stacking in the frantic bid to get ahead of the Ultimate price hike. As IGN explained, the best option for existing Ultimate subscribers was to stack their membership for to its limit, 36 months, while they changed had yet to kick in at retailers like Amazon. Microsoft will also, of course, have braced itself in sort of reaction that also have run a number of variant scenarios before deciding to hike the price. Perhaps it factored in a degree of cancellation into projections. Of course they did. It's also worth noting that Microsoft has said that Game Pass reached a new annual record of nearly $5 billion in revenue. Okay? Which, obviously, that means they're around about the 30 million mark. Because we averaged at $15 a pop, not $20 a pop, right? So not the 10, not the 20. So we just said around 30 million subscribers, and at $15 a pop, that makes the $5 billion, right? $5 billion in revenue. Okay. It says, also following the launch of Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered, Doom, The Dark Ages, and Indiana Jones The Great Circle, the upshot is all of this Xbox fans are faced with more expensive gaming. Last month, Microsoft raised the price of Xbox consoles in the U.S. due to the changes of the macroeconomic environment. Microsoft similarly raised eyebrows when it confirmed a $1,000 price tag for the upcoming ROG Xbox Ally X handheld, a $600 ROG Xbox Ally, and at least Microsoft U-turned on the $80 games for its holiday season. Oh, thank you so much, Microsoft, for not making Outer Worlds 2 $80. Okay. I don't know what Xbox is doing besides just, I truly believe they're destroying the brand. Okay. It's got to be Nadella, right? It's got to be Nadella. Tell me how to ruin a brand faster than Star Wars. And you would look at Xbox. Okay. Because up until this point, everyone's like, hey, Game Pass is worth it. Game Pass is worth it. It's the Netflix. It's the Netflix of gaming. It's the Netflix of gaming. Yes, for people, not all people, some people, a lot of people, I would say, the $30 is still okay. But do they change it next year? Does it go from 30 to 35? Does it go from 35 to 40? Right? Like, where does this end? Where do we go as a gaming society, as a business? How high does it go before people start looking at it and going, all right, that's a little too much, right? Because obviously there's people that are okay with $30. There's people okay with $35. There's people okay paying $50, okay? But how high will it go? Because let's just say they skipped what, right? They went from 20 to 30. They skipped 25. Maybe next year they were going to raise it to 25. And then the following year in 2027, they were going to raise it to 30. They said, screw it. We're just going to go to 30 right now. Okay. Where do they go? Let's just say they gave them a year of buffer. They gave a year buffer. So they skipped the 25. They went to 30. So now 2027 comes along. Do they go up to 35? Do they go up to 40? Do they go up to 45? Where do we stand, and where do you draw the line to go, you know what, gaming is not, that's expensive. I mean, Ron jokingly said $70, right? That's $800 a year, $840 a year. That'd be insane. But these are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Let me see what you guys are talking about here. Super Dave says, be back. Got to run to the store. Okay. Stell says, I live in Quebec. I don't even have heated seats. Same, the $15. Yeah. Concord is not on the $75 games. I guarantee it. Mr. Luke says, after the 10 hours of Battlefield 6, I'll be dropping down to the bottom tier. Ron Slusher says, GFN is the top of the line cloud gaming platform. Is that GeForce Now? GeForce Now? Yeah. Eclipse says, Microsoft did me dirty. I was saving up my points to get the month Game Pass so I could play Ninja Gaiden Outer Wilds 2 for free. What's going on, Lindy? Waterbear says, so 30. Out of all those games, how many would you actually play? I say maybe 2. Let me go back to the list. Like actual play, right? Actual play. Let's look at this list again. Right? I already played Hogwarts, already played all these Assassin's Creeds, right? So I don't really care for that. I played that Far Cry. I played Far Cry 3, so none of those are interesting to me. I don't give a shit about Hungry Shark World, Monopoly Madness, Monopoly Oddballs, Prince of Persia Lost Crown. Played the demo. Wasn't for me. I didn't really like it. So I wouldn't play that. I wouldn't play any of these. Skull and Bones, I played the demo or whatever. Not going back to play it. South Park, I already own. Steep, we own it. Tom Clancy's, I didn't like Breaking Point. The Division, I already own. Trackmania, I already own. Let's see. So nothing in the Ultimate available today. Everything that I would have, I already owned in the past, right? So I don't really care about that. Okay, so let's go down to the next section here. We played a Antibiotic Factor on Game Pass. I was like, okay. Let's see. I already own Age of Empires. City Skylines, I already own. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, I own. Diablo, I own. Fallout, I own. Fallout 2, I own. Yep. Minecraft, I own. None of these games. I would play 0 of these games. Sworn, own it, right? Because I bought it. I own Warcraft 1, 2, and 3. right? None of this. I wouldn't play any of these because I already own the ones that I would play. So there you go. All the ones that they put on their water, I already own. Because I paid for them at one point in time. Eclipse says, like, anybody's goes back to games that they've played. I have so many games that I don't even have time to play games. People act like physical so much better. I have like 20 physical games. I never touch them. I have these games, and I have a whole wall over there. I don't have time to go back and play those. El Nini says, I predicted 30. A lot of us did, El Nini. We actually had conversation. I looked back. I showed a screenshot of Water Bear talking about it $30 3 months ago. I have another one. I watched the video. I didn't take a screenshot of it from like last year. People talking about it. I think Paul talked about, not Paul Tassi, Paul in our chat said $30 back in, I want to say it was when there was rumors going around they're going to raise the price. It was like July of 2024. People were talking about $30. Starfield guys says, I'm already paid up with Game Pass until 2028, so prices don't affect me, but I'm still disappointed in these decisions. Jack says this is the way, very bad timing to raise the price for Game Pass after they raised the price of consoles twice just to drop it. But you understand, Jax, they did this right before the holidays because people will buy them. People will buy the systems. People will buy the Game Pass. They know more people are like, oh, I can get a television set and get Game Pass. $30. I have Steam also, and let's be honest, Game Pass won't ever compete. Ray says, I had the opportunity to stack up, but I canceled it to send a message. I'm telling you, when most people stack ends, Microsoft will up that price again, hoping that people will stack again. Oh, absolutely. This is all part of the thing. They want you to stack. Because, look, those things stick on the shelf. You ever go to the store and see just a shit ton of cards on the shelf? You're like, oh, no one's really buying for these. Well, guess what? We're raising the price. All of a sudden, magically, those leave the storefront, right? People buy them up. People stack the thing. People are paid up. It's all part of the plan, man. It's all part of the plan. Hey, how do we move these? How do we move these systems? How do we move these cards off the shelf? Well, we could raise Game Pass, and then people would buy the $20 one because it's cheaper. And they're like, smart move. Oh, 100%, El Nini. But this is also a, like I said, if 5 million people cancel, 5 million people out of the 30 million, the other 25 million people that are still paying that now pay $30 make up for that 5 million. Like a blink of an eye. Right? Microsoft looks at it, they have 5 billion each month. They lost 5 million, but they still have 5 billion every month. 5 billion for the year. Or I should say 500 million. So 500 million every month, but they lost 5 million people that canceled. They're still at 500 million a month because now the 10 people that were paying 20 are now paying 30, which makes up for the people that left. Right? They're still going to make it. Then they slowly bring in the people again. It's like a reset. Boom. Picture this. It's like a roguelite for them. Microsoft's player base is us. And they're like, let's play a little game. Right? They're like, let's see how far we can go before we die. And then boom. Yep. Then they get to a certain point, they die, and then they start. But you have a 5% increase of speed now. Okay? Now you have a 10% more hit ratio, right? That's what they're doing right now. They're like, all right, here's our base. Oh, we lost. But we have a 5% increase now, so let's continue forward. They're milking their base. El Nini, tell me with a straight face, what company doesn't milk their base? Go ahead. Tell me Sony doesn't do that. Tell me Nintendo doesn't do that. The only one that doesn't milk their base would be like Steam, right? Because they give sales and discounts and stuff. They put it out there and whatnot. Tell me with a straight face, okay, that Sony doesn't milk their player base and Nintendo doesn't milk their player base. All of them milk their player base. When you can't raise this number up, you have to go back to the source that gave you the money in the first place. right? Right? Sony fans were eating up the PlayStation Portal. Oh, it's the greatest handheld of all time. It's selling like hotcakes. Less than 2 million sales. Right? You need a $500 system to play your $250 handheld. They all milk their player base. Ray says less low port subs is better for Microsoft because they won't use bandwidth. I stacked up 3 years Ultimate for $200. Now it would also be equivalent to $1,080 at full price. What's going on, dog? I bought 2 Game Pass Ultimates. Long live Xbox. 2 months? 2 months of Ultimate? Is that what you said? Or you bought 2 separate accounts? So not only are you paying $360, you're paying $720 a year. Is that what you mean? You bought 2 Ultimates, or you just bought 2 cards for Ultimate? All right, let's go from that to the next story, which is more of Xbox. Starfield guy says, I heard they did this because the cloud is now out of beta and using server blades instead of consoles. Cloud cost a fortune to run, hence they are no longer eating the cost. Possibly. Starfield, I don't know how new you are in my channel, right? Because I don't know if you've been here and not talking or whatever for months or whatever. I made a prediction about a year and a half ago. I said within 6 to 7 years, cloud gaming will be the majority of gaming. And people laughed at me. People thought I was crazy, right? I said that they're moving towards the cloud. This is what the industry wants, okay? So that was about a year and a half ago. Okay, so we have about 5 years remaining, okay? And 100%, they're pushing towards the cloud. 100%. Okay, handhelds with cloud gaming, your mobile phones with cloud gaming, all these things with cloud gaming. This is what they want because they can charge more, and then they don't have to produce anything. They can just stream it from the things and get you the thing. And a lot of people, a lot of gamers are going to be like, I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to do it. And you say these things until you don't have a choice. Okay, at that point, you have a choice of, well, then I'm not going to play video games anymore. And that's fine because the tissue. You pull a tissue out of the box, there's another tissue waiting there for them to blow your nose with, right? So for every 50-year-old, 47-year-old that gets to the old upper years and like, you know what, I'm done gaming. I'm done, okay? I'm completely done with gaming. They're like, okay, great. I had 55 years of my life where I was playing games. You're not playing games anymore. Fantastic. Someone else coming on in, brand new gamer, and they know nothing different. They don't know all the shit that went through. They just know now, right? They just know now. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. In all seriousness, no, I just dropped down to core, maybe getting the Ultimate when game comes out on it. I think I have to drop down, but it's such a pain. It's such a pain in the ass because I got to figure out what my son's playing. Right? What's my son playing? And if it's cheaper to go find that game, obviously, and just buy the game. But if he's paying all these different games, he's jumping around all the time. Obviously, I gotta hone him in and figure out what he's doing. Okay? So I don't know. I gotta figure out before I just cancel. Right? And I don't have to cancel till February. I'm paid up until February of 26. So Z, thank you very much for the 10 gifted memberships. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. It missed Starfield. Yeah. I don't know why I gave it to Al Dente. Doesn't need to give it to Al Dente. All right, let's go to the next story. All right, so if you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, You become a member as little as $5. I do appreciate you very much. There's other ways to support the channel as well. We make music here, fun songs, good songs, I would like to say myself. But you can go check them out on Spotify. Links are in the description down below. We play them in the morning show before the show starts, and we also play one song after when we're done. So go check them out on Spotify, Apple iTunes, music, all that stuff. After the price change, Xbox Game Pass users are canceling subscriptions so fast that Microsoft's website is struggling to keep up, and I don't blame them, okay? It says Microsoft's buffet-style service, Xbox Game Pass, has cemented itself as the core of the firm's gaming business. With the programs, first of all, can we just say, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of content creators out there that talk about, they don't know what Microsoft is doing, right? There is Game Pass. That is the core of Microsoft. I've been saying that for, 6-7 years. Okay, you can go back to our GXG episodes, which is one's on tonight, by the way, 8 p.m. Eastern, Generation X Gaming, a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week. And both me and Sarge rant along the way. Check that out right here on this channel or on our Twitch channel or on Spotify after the fact. Okay, but we've been saying this for years. Game Pass is their core business. Okay, so the program, where did the program go? No. There you go. Program swelling to 34 plus million subscribers in the years since introduction of 2017. Its members enjoy open access to large catalog of both first-party and third-party titles across Xbox and other platforms in exchange for a monthly fee, making it a pretty cost-effective way to enjoy games in a modern landscape. However, while Game Pass has been very popular for a very long time, I cut it right down the middle. I don't know if it's very popular. Very popular would be like 100 million people playing. 34 million people, not very popular. But you do have more Game Pass members than you do actual consoles sold in this generation. So, or close to it. All right. The overall came on Wednesday morning with the company bringing Ubisoft Plus games to the service, new tier, more widespread availability on PC and Xbox gaming, an $11.99 month Fortnite Crew subscription. And they're really pushing this Fortnite subscription thing. Real quick, just in chat, are you excited if you have this Fortnite Crew? Are you excited if you're a mom, a dad, a person that just plays Fortnite? Are you excited that the Fortnite Crew is included into Game Pass? Put a 1 in chat if you're excited. Don't put anything in the chat if you're not excited. Just the ones, show of hands. Are you okay with the Fortnite Crew subscription? Like, is that saving you money? It's saving you $2, right? It's saving you $2 to just do it separately. Now it's part of Game Pass. Okay. All in all, the overall improvements of value of Game Pass lower in tiers, expanding the platform of the game libraries of Xbox Game Pass Standard, replace it and improve Xbox Game Pass Premium option. And notable includes access to the new first-party Xbox games within 12 months of their launch. That middle tier to me is like I sold you a lie, right? Like when they say Game Pass, day and date and stuff like that, and now you can't get the Essential, you can't get the Premium, you have to get the Ultimate. But you want it for the day one games, but you don't want it for like the PC cloud. You don't want it for the, you don't want it for all the other stuff. You just want the day and date type of stuff, right? Obviously, we've talked about different tiers, family plans. If they were putting the MMOs on a tier, if they were going to take Call of Duty and Activision games and put it on the Ultimate tier, and look, guess what they did? They took Call of Duty and put it in their own tier, which you can only get Call of Duty, the brand new one, on the Ultimate Edition. Okay, so they did what we said. They did what they said, or what we said. So it says the major downside, however, is that the flagship Xbox Game Pass Ultimate tier has gotten a whopping 50% price increase from $19.99 a month to $29.99 a month, making it significantly more expensive. Now, in some upgrades, its own Xbox Cloud Gaming Queue priority of 1440p resolution with streams, new Ubisoft Plus titles, and up to $100 earnable. This is like a laughable thing. You get $100 earnable over Xbox rewards. Yay. Like, get out of here. And Fortnite Crew. But even so, the Xbox community reaction to the price hike has been a scathing one. Of course it would be. Okay. One look at the Xbox subreddit says it all. There's a time of writing. A majority of the top of the rising posts are from fans angry and frustrated with the increase of cost of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. I'm not paying that much, reads one or more upvotes of comments. The subreddit post, a top post on the news. I renewed my subscription about a month ago at the lower price. Won't be renewing again after the one expires, asserted a user replying in agreement. He says, quote, That's going to be the price. So many people out. And really ironic after literally just talking about it being profitable, added another. It's just not worth the casual gamers, especially since you also get quite a few games each month for $30 in the sales. $360 a year is nuts for subscription service. What are these people paying for Netflix, for Hulu, for ESPN? Right? ESPN, I think, is a big one. Right, that's expensive. What do you pay for like the WWE when you paying for that? What are you paying for YouTube Premium? What are you paying for Amazon Prime? What are you paying for? Right? There's so many things. And see, if it was at like 25, people would be like, it's okay. 26, like, I'm out. Right? Each their own. Right? I totally understand why people are upset about it. Right? I like how, real quick, El Nini and Mo. Well, the only people that are excited about I'm not excited about the Fortnite thing. I was excited if I could hook up my son's account to my thing, but I can't. So it's no purpose for me. It says, notably, the price shift has been seamlessly led to sharp uptick of Xbox Pass cancellations to the point where Microsoft's website is struggling to properly load. Again, you could overload the site 100%, or they go, oh, site's down. So sorry. Come back later. You can cancel it later. And people forget because they're doing something else. They're like, squirrel. And they forget and go play a different game. And they complain about it. They're like, I'm so upset about the Game Pass. I'm going to cancel it. Did you say it? No, the site was down. I couldn't cancel my thing. I'll do it later. 6 days later, the next month comes and they're like, I forgot to unsubscribe. I'm going to do it. Okay, so they made another $30 off of you. So making people think that the company was preventing them from backing out of their subscription, which it could be. I'm not saying they're doing it. I'm just saying it is a tactic. This isn't the case, though. After struggling to load the cancellation page myself, I can confirm that it definitely seems to be a heightened traffic. Check out the guide for canceling Game Pass if you're planning to. Okay, and I suggest for people that if this is something, be smart with your money. Show the company. Speak with your wallets. If you don't like something, don't buy it. It's that simple. That's the only way that you'll get it done. If you don't like gas prices at your gas station because the guy across the street is cheaper than the one on your side of the street, don't buy gas at that gas station. But there's people that do. And they'll keep raising the price because people are doing it. That's just the simplest example, right? If you don't like something, cancel it. If you don't like Disney Plus, cancel it. If you don't like Netflix, cancel it. If you don't like Game Pass, cancel it. Okay? If you don't like taxes, no, wait, that doesn't work that way. All right. Their site is 100% getting overloaded right now from people like me trying to downgrade or cancel, said one Game Pass user. Okay. For those of us that don't give a fuck about Fortnite or Ubisoft Classic, we should just be able to pay $20 to $25 instead of not having the access to those add-ons. I agree with this 100%. Okay. I feel like I'm being forced to use something I'm not going to use. I'm not going to use Ubisoft Plus. I'm not going to use EA Play. I'm not going to use the Fortnite, core or crew. Okay. So these three things that are part of Ultimate Package, I'm not going to use. But yet I have to pay that $10 extra for these things. So then people look at it and say, well, maybe I should do these things, right? If Ubisoft put their games day and date on Game Pass, right? Like if Outlaws came on Game Pass day one and the next Assassin's Creed came out on day one, then that would be more willing to be like, you know what? I'll pay that extra $10 a month for the brand new games from Ubisoft. But that's not the thing, right? So it is a little weird. So it argued another one who said that they're also soon dropping down to one of the more affordable tiers. The thing is, you have to keep your tier if you want to play online. If you want to play multiplayer online games with your friends, you have to have Game Pass, right? Even if you bought Call of Duty and you own Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty, you cannot play Call of Duty online unless you have Game Pass, right? And a lot of people don't understand this. They think, I'm going to cancel. I'm still going to buy this. And I'm still going to play. No. You can play certain things like Fortnite. You don't need Game Pass to play Fortnite. Okay. You can play Fortnite because it's free to play games. Okay. You could probably play Warzone, but you can't play Call of Duty, the multiplayer type, not Warzone. You're going to need Game Pass. Okay. It says a bold move. It is a big mistake. Okay, with Microsoft continuing to adapt the increasingly multi-platform strategy for Xbox Business and the Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X handhelds. Can I just say something? I can. It's my channel. Everyone was just a couple days ago, we're just yelling at the rooftops, $1,000. How dare you? They put $30 out there, and now no one's talking about the $1,000 handhelds. Everybody's talking about the $30 increase to Game Pass. Do you see how that works? It's like a magician. Look, guys, I got my thumb in my, look, whoa, right? It's a magic trick. Okay. So it says Game Pass overall makes sense, bringing more tiers to the service of platform like PC and Xbox Game Pass or cloud gaming, giving folks using PC gaming handhelds and other devices more options. Okay, more options are always good, especially when you're trying to draw players that also not having a traditional Xbox console into Xbox ecosystem and get them to subscribe the Xbox Game Pass in long term. Naturally, though, more widespread access to Xbox cloud gaming means that the service will become more expensive to run. Of course. Let's bring the tariffs into it. I don't think they're going to bring tariffs, but just a joke. Okay? And by choosing to largely try to recouping that cost by spiking Xbox Game Pass Ultimate price, I think Microsoft has made a big mistake. He says, unless you're a big Fortnite fan or who are willing to seriously use out of that Fortnite crew membership or avid enjoyer of the Ubisoft titles, there's also been very little value added to Ultimate in exchange for that $10 cost increase. Right? That's ultimately one of the biggest reasons why Game Pass members are so frustrated. Okay? Though honestly, even with the added benefits more widely acceptable to all players, I still think it would be a strong blowback. If they added, now I have a video based on saying that World of Warcraft was coming to PC Game Pass is what I said 2 years ago. Okay, I still believe this. I still believe they're going to use World of Warcraft as a ploy, right? Because if you're already paying $15 a month on Blizzard.net or Battle.net, sorry, okay, then if they can move those people over to Game Pass for $15, and then those people get other, value, even though they're only playing World of Warcraft, you could add that to Ultimate, right? $30. You put Ubisoft Plus games, like brand new games on that platform. You take World of Warcraft, you put it on that platform on the Ultimate Edition, and then people can play World of Warcraft, and people can play. Then maybe $30, but obviously they'll move that up to $40 if they do that. But yeah, the value there is for Fortnite and for other things, people are like, I don't want to use that. That's not really for me. It says, at the end of the day, $30 for monthly subscription is a tall order, no matter what it gives. And the files and it flies in the face of many Game Pass. The best deal in gaming is the first place is bang for your buck value. It says, I believe Microsoft would have also been far better off if it slightly increased the price across the board instead of sharply increasing Ultimates, because now the program's best feature, day one game releases, is locked behind a $30 a month paywall. Many won't be willing to pay that in the end, though that only time will tell to see how large the impact it has at the Game Pass business. He says, personally, I'll be switching over to the $16.49 PC Game Pass. With it, you get almost all the benefits from Ultimate. Fortnite crew, I could care less. $100 of earnable Xbox rewards credit, and you also get the max of $50 instead, and multi-platform access to half the price. And while it's also limited to PC only, that's not the problem for me, and as I prefer playing games on my PC anyway. It's just a very strange thing. It almost feels like Xbox takes 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Okay? It's like in one hand, you're like, oh yeah, they're doing this, and then all of a sudden, this whole generation across the board has been a disappointment. We've talked about this, that when the next Xbox and the next PlayStation come out, I won't be buying anything from the start. Because when they came out with the PlayStation 5 and they came out with the Xbox Series S and X, they said 4K gaming. They said 120 frames. They said all of these things, and it took years and years and years into the cycle of the thing, and then they finally did it. But then they were also broke, buggy, unoptimized, delayed, closed studios, all of this stuff. It was like, yes, did they deliver on certain things? Sure. But they overpromised and way underdelivered for this round, which broke my trust in just gaming. Not Xbox, not PlayStation, not Nintendo. Gaming as a whole for me, as a 47-year-old guy, from where I came and loved, I'm discouraged by this. If this was my son, I would look at him and say, I'm disappointed. Okay? I'm disappointed. Okay? And going forward, I don't want to buy the next console. I don't care if it's $3. Okay? I will not buy your next console because you have to show me what your next consoles do. You have to show me what your consoles do, and you have to show me what your business is, and then I get to choose if I want to give you money and support you. And at this point, I don't want to support it. I'm okay, right? Again, as a 47-year-old person, I've played plenty of games in my lifetime. If I don't have to play games anymore the rest of my lifetime, I'll learn Spanish, right? I'll go out and learn woodworking. I'll do thousands of other things with my time, okay? And that's it. But that's just me. These are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of other videos. Thanks for watching. The business has gone from they're making you a product to sell you because they wanted to sell you a product. Now the business is, I'm going to put it out there and you're going to buy it. And if you don't buy it, you're the problem. No, I am your lifeline. We as gamers, we as customers, okay, without us, you have nothing, right? We don't need your product. You need us to buy your product. RJ says, it's funny people losing their minds. You can also tell that still find Game Pass Ultimate is less than $20 in some places right now. Not too long ago, I bought 12-month unlimited for $95. Yeah, there's plenty of places you can go. Yeah, that's what I did. I mean, when the last time I did the price increase, I went out and bought a whole bunch of stuff. That's why I was paid up until February. Super Dave says, no one cares about handhelds. Ray says, funny how everyone start making handhelds when cloud gaming and data plans already have caught up. Ray says, let's be honest. If you pay $30, will you play Far Cry 3? The game costs $1. Yeah. I already played it, right? I already played it. I own most of the games. Like, why do I need to pay $10 to go play that game again? I don't. Right? Waterbear says the new consoles will have around $1,200, and if that's the case, why not buy a gaming PC, which we're doing. I mean, I have a PC, but it's not powerful enough, right? We struggle when we play games online, when we stream it. This is why we're saving up our money, It's like I want you to move towards the cloud and mobile. Oh wait, and that's exactly what they want. 100%, because that's what the business wants. That's what the industry wants. That's what the lead of the industry wants. Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo are all in the gaming industry together. They've decided this is where it's going to go. This is what they're doing. Ray says, Genshin Impact is free. Marvel Rivals is free. Fortnite is free. Many games are free to play. Let the whales pay for us. Super Dave says, they need us, not we need them. 100%. Right? Movie theaters make movies for people to watch. If you want to shit talk the customers to not see your movie, guess what? We don't see your movie. If you make a game because you want to make a game for people to play, and yet you complain that no one bought your game, is because you shit on the customers of your people that want to buy your game, guess what? That's your own fault. We, the people, choose what's successful and not successful. And you don't need hundreds of millions of people to make your business successful. You just need tens of thousands of people to make your game successful. Super Dave says, yeah, build a better PC, buy a new console, and then also they come out. Cubini says, I'm good on PC Game Pass for $16.49 with day one games. Nothing changes for me. What's that price, right? Because this scenario, and I'm not saying you're saying this, I'm just taking what you said and I'm making it into a scenario, right? There's a fire outside my house. My house is not burning, right? So I'm cool, right? What is the price for you, Cubini, right? Where it was $10, then it went to $11, now it's $16. What does that price get to before you go, yeah, I'm not going to play anymore? Right? Because there is that price for everybody, right? And that constantly changes based on you personally, where you are in your life, as far as, like, obviously if you're a student, if you're unemployed, if you're a vet that's on med, like med leave and stuff like that, like you can't work, you're disability, you have a family, you have 6 kids, right? It changes constantly as you go. That price changes. Mr. Luke, I'm gonna emails selling me Game Pass Ultimate with 20% off already. I got emails selling me Game Pass Ultimate for 20% off already. There you go. Eclipse says, luckily I had enough points to get $15 of currency for Xbox, so it's only going to be like $2 for me. Nice. Yeah, see, I'm like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, this weekend, I'll go over to GameStop, see if they have some cards. If they have some cards, I'll buy them. I'll go to, like, the dollar store and see, they have you gift cards. Obviously, they're not $1. Go to the supermarket, see if they have some Game Pass cards and stuff like that. If I can't find one, I'll be like, all right, I'm February, and then I make a decision. Do I pay $30 or do I not pay $30? Right? I think I might drop down because I don't really care for day and date. I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't care for day and date because I'm still playing games. Like, look, right now I've been playing Helldivers. Helldivers 1.5 years old. It came to Xbox. I paid $40 for it. I got like 150 hours in the game. Right? I don't need the next game to come out. Right? I bought a game called Deadly Days Road Trip. It's like $6 on Steam. Right? I already got like 6 hours into it. I don't need a $70, $80 game, brand new. $16.49 was the last straw for me. I canceled my PC Game Pass. He says, I lost day one games, those 75 plus, they promise. When will they drop on PC Game Pass? Until then, I pay what it costs. That's how I've been feeling 30. Yeah, even when I played Spider-Man, right? I got Spider-Man, God of War, Last of Us, MLB The Show, and right. This is for when I had PlayStation, when I still have PlayStation 4, right? I didn't buy any of these games new, right? Any of these games new. We have the awesome Avengers game, okay? With the Spider-Man included. We got The Last of Us, the remastered, right? We have MLB The Show 17, okay? We have Horizon Zero Dawn, and I got Spider-Man. All of these for like $40. All of these. 5 games, $40. Like, I don't need new games. It's not like the games they make vanish. Right? They're there. I can still buy them. And if I can't buy them because they're let's say they don't make games anymore. They don't make physical games anymore. And they only make digital games. Great. I have a wall. I have consoles. I have everything. I don't need them. I'm just speaking about me. I don't need them. He says, just for fun and low discount, I pick up Helldivers OG. Very fun, even isometric. I was thinking about picking it up. Z. Ray says, there's a cool game on Game Pass Ultimate. Just $30. I can get it. Or I can play a game from my backlog and it won't cost me a penny. Exactly right. Argus says, also, Mike, the reason I'm going to keep paying for Ultimate is because I also pay for Fortnite Crew to play with my son every month. So realistically, I'm paying the same price I do now. Argus, so I was asking people if anyone's excited about the Fortnite Crew. See, yesterday when we were talking about it, when I read when they said they had Fortnite Crew, I was like, oh, because I promised my son, I said if he does good in school, because he was asking me for the crew, right? And I said, I'm not getting you the crew. In our household, right? You got to earn it, right? So he does good in school. If he gets all A's, I said, I'll get you the crew, right? So he's busting his ass off, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, the crew's part of Game Pass. I was like, well, that's fantastic, right? I'm paying the $10, right? So if they up it to 30, I was like, cool, I get the crew, but I can't link my account, my Game Pass to his account, right? Because I've already linked my account to my Epic account. So I don't know if I could remove my Epic account and put his in, and then he gets the thing. I don't know. I got to look into it because it would it would work out for me. Otherwise, I just have to pay the $12 for him each month. Water Bear says, "God damn it, Marvel's Avengers still pisses me off 5 years later. It's because it was so good, but yet so bad. The potential. I don't think there was another potential of a game that was so wasted, Water. I'll be honest. I don't think there was a potential of a game that was so wasted. Maybe Destiny. Maybe Destiny 1. It's FOMO for me, sadly. A lot of people are that way, and we don't want to wait. Otherwise, I would drop down to premium. I don't know how old you are. I don't care how old you are. I think you get over that as you get older. I don't give a shit about FOMO. I have no give a shit in the world for FOMO. I'm like, it's cool. I don't need it. Super Dave says a $40 game is better than a broken, buggy game. Luke says, who cares? We're going to be playing Fallout 76 in December anyway. That is true, Luke. That is true. They're coming out with a new update. I already own the game, and I'll play that. Yeah, I'll play that with Mr. Luke. So there you go. Microsoft planned it perfectly. They know what's coming next year. They have some big releases coming in Game Pass, so people will either have to subscribe or buy games full price. Yeah, but you don't have to buy it now. You know what I mean, RJ? You don't have to pay Game Pass now for $30 a month waiting for what game comes out next year. Argus says, Mike, I've been playing Fortnite Cruise since they put it out. Gives them all 4 or 5 battle passes, 1,000 V-Bucks, and exclusive skins and stuff. Oh, yeah, no, I know what it is. I think it's great, but I just didn't want to give it to my son. I wanted him to earn it. So that's why I said, you get straight A's, then I'll get you the crew. Let's see here. Pixel says, I can't wait. I can't wait a year. Surely I'll be alive. I got Marvel's Avengers for $3. Yeah, I paid $8 for that. $8 for that copy of Marvel's Avengers. Argus says, you definitely care less about FOMO as you get older. You still get some FOMO, but by the time I'm almost 50, I still will likely be gone as well. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about nothing. Nothing scares me. You can subscribe to Game Pass when those games actually come out and min-max your money spent. Yeah, but a lot of people don't do that. They might pay out for the full year, out of sight, out of mind type of thing, right? They're like, I got $360 now. I'm gonna put that towards Game Pass for the year. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't like to pay monthly for stuff. They're like, I budgeted this. This is what I'm spending it on. And I think that's the way you should do it. Like you save up and then you pay. Again, everybody's different. Everyone's different. This is going to be a thing when GTA 6 comes out. We'll see what happens. Because there's people that have been waiting 13, 14 years for Grand Theft Auto. When Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, not only will they be paying $80, $90, $100 just for the game, okay? But they will 100% be playing that game and that game only, right? It'll be the Skyrim of this generation, and everyone will be like, why is no one paying for Game Pass? Why is no one paying for subscription services? Why is anybody paying for... They're like, oh, by the way, Grand Theft Auto Online's included in PlayStation Plus Premium or Game Pass Ultimate, right? That's how they're going to get you. That's how they're going to get you. Because if you want to play online for Grand Theft Auto, I'm assuming you're going to need online. Not just pay for online, but you're going to need to have a Game Pass membership, okay, to play online. Or you're going to have a PlayStation Plus membership to play online. But if you're on PC, you're already paying for the internet, so you're okay if you're on PC. But that's what they're doubling down. They're like, oh, yeah, Grand Theft Auto. We're going to get these suckers coming in. Argus says, I'm an Xbox guy. What can I say? Although I do still own more current PlayStation products than most PlayStation guys still on top of that. I do have a Series S, but I don't know if I can stomach playing GTA 6 on it versus just waiting for PC. Yeah, wait for PC. It'll be hard, though. I'll be honest with you. It might be hard. You're going to see other people just having a blast, doing stupid shit. You're like, oh my God, this looks so good. And you're like, I'm going to buy it twice. Not only are you going to buy it for the S, but you'll buy it for the PC. You know it. You know it. Hell, you might even buy a PlayStation. You might even buy a PlayStation for it. FOMO. FOMO. All right, let's go from that story. Here. What time is it? We're falling behind. Oh yeah, we're falling behind. We have this story here, which I thought was a little weird. Right? It came out the same day as the prices raising for Game Pass. Right? If you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We just read news stories, have conversations. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, you can become a member as little as $5. Okay. We also do a podcast on Thursday nights to end the week on this channel. It's called Generation X Gaming, a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories. And my brother's on the show, and we just rant about gaming topics and whatnot. It's a fun time, 8 p.m. tonight. Check that out. Okay. Introducing all new Amazon Luna, a new era of gaming for everyone. Cloud gaming. It's weird how all of a sudden Xbox Cloud came out of beta, and then all of a sudden Amazon Luna makes an entrance again. It's like, hey guys, remember us? Amazon Luna here. We're still here. Okay, introducing an all new Amazon Luna, a new era of gaming for everyone. Several years ago, a bunch of game-crazed Amazonians had an audacity idea that also could stream games just like we stream video and music. I said, okay, because a lot of people doubted that the streaming technology would work for games, which are much more difficult to deliver via the cloud than video and music. But Amazon, we like hard problems. Fast forward to 2022, and we launched Amazon Luna, a cloud gaming service where customers can play games anywhere without a console or a gaming PC. It's fun, it's magical, convenient, and also something that we're proud of. And since that time, we've added more and more titles to our catalog, and we've scaled Luna to 14 countries, with the consumers streaming millions of games, hours of Luna every month. Across our team, we love playing EA Sports FC 25, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Fortnite, and more. My personal favorites are Dungeons and Hitterberg, also, and Death Stranding. But Amazon, we don't like to stand still. We think gaming needs a rethink. Okay? Now, gaming is one of the most powerful, crucial forces in the world, with more than 3 billion people playing across the globe. When you look at the little closer, though, you realize that only about 300 million people own consoles. Huh. Man. It's like I've said this before. It's crazy. 250 million own gaming-ready PCs. In other words, most players are their smartphones, and most of the time they're playing by themselves. And we think that's a shame because some of the most magical moments in gaming are there and you're playing with your family and friends in the living room on the big screen. Until now, though, playing with the big screen usually means expensive consoles, more expensive consoles, costly graphics cards, complicated games, and end up feeling more like a commitment than a quick escape. The industry hasn't done enough to welcome the hundreds of millions of people who want to experience the magic of playing games on the big screen, but feel left out. Those of you that don't see themselves as gamers, those who don't want to spend a fortune on hardware, or those of you that just want something simple, social, and fun. And then exactly what our Prime members have told us. Gaming hardware is too expensive. Gamers are intimidating the hard-to-learn and expensive games, games, and also be isolating. But at the same time, Prime members know that the games don't have to be this way. They indeed to tell us what they want games to be, and a way to bring friends and family together to build connections, to bond, to have fun. And so we asked ourselves, how can we reimagine Luna in order to solve the issue to prevent so many from participating? The good news is that Luna already solves the hardware cost issue. But now we can further lower barriers, and we can also expand who gets to play. How can we bring people together? How can we imagine the games that are also with the help of AI and the cloud? In other words, how can we reimagine Luna so that it's not just different place to play games, but also a place to play games differently and a place to play different games? Introducing an all-new Amazon Luna. This is why we're excited to announce that later this year, we'll be launching a completely redesigned, reimagined Amazon Luna that combines innovative social party games and amazing blockbusters to every night in your house and perfect game night to share with your family and friends. The new additions are all included with Prime at no additional cost. It's amazing. Remember, everyone wanted to cancel Amazon Prime because of commercials and stuff. They're like, I'm not going to pay for Prime. Oh, but you're paying for the subscription model because your wife or partner or whatever just keeps ordering shit from Amazon. So you're like, well, I gotta pay for it anyway. Okay. So an all-new Luna will empower Prime members to play games in the same way they enjoy content, Prime Video, and Amazon Music across devices that are already own and prefer to use. And there's no special hardware required. Just launch Luna on your Fire TV, smart TV, or tablet, and you're playing in seconds. What other company is doing this? I don't know. Rhymes with aim ass. Okay. So when you launch Luna, you're also something totally new called Game Night. You'll find a collection of social party games to play with your family and friends, just like when you also host game nights at your house, but better. Game Night reimagines what it means to play games in the living room. Not only do you not need a console or gaming PC, you don't even need a game controller. With Game Night games and smartphones, your controller for your experience centered around the living room TV in seconds. Anyone in the room can also join in the fun simply by scanning a QR code. All Game Night games are designed to play together with family and friends and maximize the laughter and connection. Finally, a reason for parents not to tell your kids to put their phones away. Okay. Game Night will feature exclusive titles developed by Amazon, starting with the launch of Courtroom Chaos, starring Snoop Dogg, a human-built AI-powered improved courtroom game where players innovate outrageous characters, spin wild stories, and do whatever it takes to defend the testimony before Judge Snoop Dogg. Fantastic. Okay. Game Night will also launch with more than 25 approachable multiplayer games from Game Night optimized takes on favorites like Angry Birds Draw, Guess Exploding Kittens, Flappy Golf Party, and also party-ready adaptations of board games such as Taboo, Ticket to Ride, and Clue. All Game Night titles are also turned for fun, frictionless living room experiences, so whether or not you're looking to work together or your partner to slingshot birds across the pesky pigs, explode some kittens, show off your drawing skills, or be the first to say, Colonel Mustard with the candlestick in the conservatory. All on a big screen with the family and friends. The Game Night is your ticket for fun, and I'll be adding a Game Night games all time with your families and Game Night, always fun and fresh. Okay? Level up your gameplay. And what about those times when you really just want to get your game on and level up? You know, really unleash your inner gamer. You got to cover there too. For Prime members, an all-new Luna will also include diverse and growing library of more than 50 popular classic indie blockbuster games. This means like titles like Hogwarts Legacy, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Top Spin 2K25, alongside fan-favorite indies and family friends picks such as Dave the Diver, MotoGP 25, Farming Simulator 22, and SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Oh, yeah, that's my favorite. Okay? Just like Game Night games, the rotating library is included with Prime at no additional cost. These games are definitely a little more involved with Game Night titles, and you also need the game controller to play. If you've got a Bluetooth controller lying around your house, which you already have, they're not trying to sell you anything, okay? You've got a Bluetooth controller lying around, you also get you're all set. It's not just purchase a Luna controller or a Magic of Prime. You also have your doorstep in no time. I'm sure someone ordered a thing. They ding dong, it's already there. In fact, just announced some nice discounts on the Luna controllers and select Fire TV bundles for Prime big deal days in several countries. Some available until October 10th, and you'll likely look forward to similar deals in the future. And all of this isn't enough. You want to level up even more gaming. Even more, you can subscribe to Luna Premium. The more blockbuster titles like EA Sports FC 25, Lego DC Supervillains, Team Sonic Racing, and Batman Arkham Knight. Built for Prime members. Prime has also been about making life simpler, more entertaining, and more affordable. Luna builds its promise and fresh take on gaming experiences to play with family and friends. And this is just the beginning with advance in AI. There's freaking AI and cloud technology. We see opportunities to create entirely new kinds of games, experiences where you never possible before. And we have an incredible pipeline of games in the works and can't wait to say, isn't this just weird? Isn't this just weird? Right? Okay, when I tell you that cloud gaming is the future, and you guys are saying 10 to 15 years, You're all delusional, okay? A year and a half ago, I said 6 to 7 years, 5 years left, and I feel goddamn pretty confident in what I said back then, okay? Luna, which hasn't been seen in 2 years, 3 years. No one's talked about it. No one's said anything. No one's using it. All of a sudden, they're like, hey, by the way, all this, it's included in Prime, right? The same day that Xbox decides to raise their price to $30, okay? Again, the industry is the industry. They all work together. Microsoft said that they wanted to do this because no one else is there. And they said years ago, Phil Spencer said, we're worried about Amazon. We're worried about Google, okay? And Apple. All of these guys are working in this space, right? Now, the streaming thing that Google did failed miserably, okay? Luna's still here, okay? Remember, Amazon owns Luna. Amazon owns Twitch, okay? Xbox is going cloud. Amazon's going cloud. Everyone's going cloud. It's just a matter of time, okay, that it happens. But I want to say this actually seems pretty interesting. I love board games. Love board games, okay? Those of you that have been watching my channel for very many years, okay, you know that I created board games. I have multiple board games that I've created, like actual created. We actually tried to start a business where we created board games and sell board games, okay? It fell through, right? And it didn't work out, but I still love board games, right? If you can play board games like this, I know there's other things on Steam and stuff like that, but playing games like this with your family, I love family night, man. I love when people sit down at a table, we play games all the time. Love it. If we could do this now, involve electronics into it, and you can do stuff, and I don't need anything. I don't need anything else to download. I could just use the phone that I already have, the TV I already own, right? We already have Amazon Prime. Very convenient, right? This is convenient. This is much better than the other things that people are doing, okay? And again, they're not looking to dominate the market, right? Again, listen to the numbers, right? 300 million people own consoles. 3 billion people are playing across the globe. Okay, 300 million people own consoles. 250 million own gaming PCs. That's 550 million people out of 3 billion. Okay, and they're like, oh, by the way, we'll take our little percentage of that and put it over here, right? It's pretty good. Pretty interesting. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Let me know you in live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe if you like what I do here. Check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. Ray says, Luna Cloud Gaming is great. As long as Luna is good value, I will use it. Well, the problem is, if you have Amazon Prime, because you ship a lot of stuff, you already have it, right? Dave the Diver, Game of the Year. I have a Prime and monthly games, and my dad watched TV. I thought Concord was Game of the Year. Luke says, I'm sure I have some free Luna games from Prime Gaming. I use Luna because I can play your Uplay catalog. Ron Slusher says, movies, shopping, and gaming combined into Prime. August says, it's not going to take 15 years to stabilize the cloud service in any type. This is also going to start to being a focus of technology and advancement. Don't take 15 years anymore. No. It's called exponential growth, right? There's that like bell curve. It goes like this. It takes like super long, and then all of a sudden it goes whoosh. Ray says, 4 years ago, the data plan was $50 for 4 gigs. Now I pay $30 for 50 gigs. Ron says, so technically, Luna already has more subscribers than Game Pass. That's correct. That's correct. Right? They're not giving you the exact same value as Game Pass, but they are giving you a value. The value they're like, oh, I can play board games. That's cool. I can play with my family and friends. That's cool, right? When does this start? When did they say they're doing this? They said later this year. Excited to announce that later this year we'll be launching a completely redesigned, reimagined Amazon Luna. Right. So it doesn't say when. Probably during the holidays. Probably like November. During like holidays where people stand together, like Thanksgiving and stuff like that. I would hope that if they're redesigning something, they would launch it before a major holiday where families get together. Who knows, though? All right, how long is this? 28 minutes. I don't know if we have time. I wanted to watch the 14 best new games to play in October of 2025. You know what? We're going to bring it up. We're going to bring it up This is Force Gaming. We're gonna watch Force Gaming. We're gonna watch him at like 2.5 speed. Okay. Because I didn't eat breakfast and I need to eat lunch. So let's watch this, see what's coming out. Maybe we'll fast forward to games maybe that we like if we're interested in whatnot, right? If you guys like Force Gaming, we like watching Force Gaming. I like his content. So if you like it, link in the description down below for Force Gaming. Go check out his channel as well. Hit the subscribe button for him. He doesn't need my help, right? He's just a small little YouTuber. Maybe you know him, maybe you don't know him, right? So let's watch this.
A jam-packed month. In fact, this might be one of like the largest months of the year in terms of the number of big new games coming out. A few ones that I'm quite interested in as well, so let's go ahead and dive on in. First up this month is Kingmakers. Now, I am cautiously quite optimistic about this game. What I initially thought was going to be just kind of a meme game turns out to have a lot more depth and interesting mechanics than I expected. On the surface, yeah, you are strolling into medieval sword and bow fights with modern-day weaponry. Sounds simple enough, yeah, but there's quite a bit more to it than that. I recently did a video going over a lot of the details that we know so far, but if you missed that, here's a brief recap of the highlights. So it's a third-person shooter. As you can see, you have access to
I'm excited about this.
You got,
I'm excited about Kingsmaker. This is not a full price $70 game either. I think it's like $40 or $50 if I'm not mistaken. It might be even $30 if I'm not mistaken.
Bulls and vehicles as well, but not immediately and not infinite amounts or infinite ammo. That's kind of where the interesting stuff starts coming in. The game's going to be mission-based, and you start out every mission with a lower-tier weapon. So you'll have like a...
I think it's more than a one-night game, Altern. Well, at least for me. For me, I look at this as like a... Like with a group of people, this is like a Helldivers for me. I can easily put 100 hours into this game.
Simple bow or crossbow or even a basic handgun. And then as the mission progresses, you gradually unlock more powerful options. You do this by collecting resources like...
This will probably be on Game Pass when it comes out to console though, Luke. It's not on Game Pass now, it's only on PC.
Copper, gold, and treasure, and then sending them back to the future, getting better weapons and tools in return. Also, you constantly have access to a small buckler that you use for parrying, along with a sledgehammer, which is good for stunning tough enemies. So yeah, you're not just going in with like unlimited rounds of a like LMG or something and mowing everything down. There's actually like a progression to this. There's also a weapon upgrade tree. You can improve things like mag capacity, armor pen, and accuracy. And you will have access to multiple vehicle types, starting with a motorcycle and a car, and they're trying to get the tank in for launch, but they haven't confirmed if it'll come in a later update. Now, the armies that you are fighting with and against, they are also more than just like massive mindless hordes of basic knights or whatever. At launch, there's actually 6 distinct different troop types. These include the swordsmen, spearmen...
This is going to melt people's consoles when it comes out the console, and it's going to melt people's systems on PC.
Cavalry, archers, berserkers, and men-at-arms. Each of these fill a particular role and counter other roles in a rock, paper, scissors-like fashion. So, for example, archers are going to be really good against swordsmen, but not so good against the cavalry, and there's a similar kind of, again, rock, paper, scissors of formation to all of the troops' interactions. Troops can be upgraded and specialized as well, like promoting your archers to longbowmen, then increasing their damage to armor. You've also got a system of officers who are much larger, tougher, and deadlier enemies to contend with. There's going to be a variety of officer types, each with their own troops and fighting styles. Officers also wear different tiers of armor, which can mitigate and even outright negate some of your smaller caliber weapons. This makes the officers far more difficult early on before you get your bigger weapons.
This comes out later this month, so
upgrades and
end of the month, I believe.
Caliber. There's also a lot of strategy elements.
Oh, I know it's the 17th. I think it's the 17th.
In the game, so the entire thing runs in a full real-time simulation. You've got thousands of soldiers fighting simultaneously, each controlled with these multi-threaded AI used for decision-making, pathfinding, and loyalty systems. There are RTS mechanics. You can pull the camera back at any time, getting an overhead view of the battlefield. This not only lets you see what's going on around you, but it also allows you to command your troops to attack, retreat, or stand by your side. The aforementioned 6 troop types, you'll be picking and choosing the makeup that you want of the formations of your particular allied fighters. There's a morale system where enemy troops will be boosted by enemy officers, and taking one of their officers down can then cause those troops to retreat, whereas you act as the officer for your own troops with abilities to boost their morale, as well as directly supporting them with things like tossing in healing grenades. And there's base building. You're going to be placing down houses, barracks, lumber mills, and constructing castle walls and barricades, all of which serve their own function. The game's got a lot of destruction physics stuff, so every weapon has a penetration rating, and that's going to interact with the indestructible environment differently, depending on if it's made of plaster, wood, or stone, while higher caliber guns are going to be able to shoot through multiple walls and even take out several soldiers with a single shot. You can outright destroy entire buildings using explosives, sledgehammers, or vehicles to take out sections or topple them entirely. And the game features 4-player co-op. You'll be joining together, working to take down enemy castle defenses or to defend allied strongholds against...
This is going to be a big game on Twitch. You're going to see a lot of videos on YouTube and Twitch when this game comes out.
Hordes of invading opponents. Other than concerns over how well this game is going to run with its destructible environments and the sheer number of NPCs in it, I'm pretty sold on everything that I've heard. Like, this looks and sounds like a fun, silly good time, and I'm really hopeful that they can pull it off.
Hell yeah, I actually might even see it like today. they'll probably start posting videos today, or at least next Monday, right?
Kingmakers will be launching the Steam Early Access on October the 8th. The updated version of Blue Protocol, subtitled Star Resonance, is also launching this month. This is an MMORPG with many staples of the genre. You got open zones, group content, dungeons, boss fights, and raids, along with a lot of different side activities, social events, areas to explore, all with this Japanese anime styling and storytelling layered on top. So a few months ago, I got to play an early version of the game. Full disclosure, that was part of a sponsored video. Nevertheless, I did in fact have a good time, and I am looking forward to playing again for release. So beyond the layer of monetization and the gacha systems dragging it down a little bit, the game underneath that
It reminds me of Genshin Impact a little bit, right?
had a fair few interesting elements that I enjoyed, enough that I'm willing to give it at least one playthrough up until I hit whatever the paywall that's present it rears its head. So the game's got a pretty solid character creator. You got a lot of different options for how you want your anime-like character to look. There's a fair few class options broken up into their respective roles under a
Yeah, Ray, I said that in the article when I read it.
attack. You've got the Marksman, Frostmage, Wind Knight, and Stormblade. For support, there's the Verdant Oracle and Soul Musician, and then Guard has the Heavy Guardian and Shield Knight. It is an open zone game rather than full open world, so it consists of multiple large zones that you can freely explore within, with a lot of verticality and width to them. But then each individual zone, as you move from one to the next, there will be a loading screen in between them. In addition to the main story quests, you've also got side stories. There's guide, world, region, and event quest, along with a slew of different content types and objectives that take you throughout these zones. Traversal was probably one of my favorite parts of the game. There's like a lot of different stuff you can do. So you don't just have one jump. You don't even just have a double jump. You can jump 5 times simultaneously. You can also dash, wall run, hover, glide, and fly across.
All turns said. After a while, you realize that all gacha games are Genshin Impact with a different coat of paint. It's fair. It's fair.
The map. You've got updrafts for gliding and flying. There's got a sprinting mini game where when you land, you gain momentum, and then if you hit the bar within a certain section, it then leaps you forward, and you can do this consecutively many times. There's also a mount, and all of this plays into various traversal challenges that you can do across the map. You'll also use this movement to gain access to various collectibles in the environment, with treasure chests and resources to harvest pretty much all over the place. Combat is action, where you combine basic attacks with your class abilities. The class that I played in my preview was the Paladin-like Shield Knight, a defensive-focused tank class using a sword and shield. I also had a shield bash, a cleave ability, the ability to throw my shield, drop a consecration on the ground, and an ultimate that just kind of increased my tankiness and let me deal more damage. And then everybody's got access to the ability to call in spirit creatures that you've captured.
What was that one we played that was like Genshin Impact? Tower something? It was like an anime type of... what the hell was that called? I think it closed down. Tower something. Tower Fantasy? Is that what it was called?
These are basically just like 2 additional abilities that you have on top of your basic attack and class abilities. The game's got quite a fair few different activity types and things to do for endgame. All of this rewards different resources and currency, which is
this is Protocol. This is Blue Protocol, Dolphin.
used to fuel progression.
No, not
so you've got the
Towerborn
Bureau
Stealth.
Commissions. These are basic.
It was an open world game. We played it. I forget. I'll have to go back and look at my channel. It was like 2.5 years ago.
Like daily quests where you complete different challenges, mini games,
Tower Infinity or something like that.
combat encounters. The Unit X research facility is a building in the game's main city that allows you to instantly load into the game's dungeon runs and boss fights. Stim and Vaults is a 60-floor tower climb challenge. It has both solo and group variants. You've got open world hunts where you'll be going out and choosing different elites and bosses to track down and take out. There's also world bosses that have up to 20 players to take down, and class trials where, as it sounds, you will have a trial for your class archetype, essentially giving you different practice sessions for fulfilling your role. So, for example, as the tank, I was asked to like lure enemies away from my allies, or soak up damage, or provide them the time to cast abilities, things along those lines. And then progression in the game is all about doing those activities, collecting, crafting.
Yeah, insert the meme, right, Altern? It's like the same, but different, but still the same. Was it Tower of Fantasy? Maybe? I'll look it up in a second.
Equipment to get stronger. As for the store, well, it's a free-to-play MMO with gacha. It's got everything you expect. There are cosmetics for sale. You can also buy various resources and currencies. They sell convenience features. They've got a monthly card, which is basically this game's version of a subscription. Comes with boosts to stuff like increased storage, reduced taxes, and daily bonus currencies. And there is a cosmetic gacha system referred to as Wish, where you roll for a random chance to pull one of X cosmetics from the prize pool. Free-to-play MMO gacha. It has all of that stuff as you expect. Now, while I played, I didn't feel the need to engage with it, but usually it comes later in progression where you start to get those pressures with a lack of currency and a desire to get more of it, which you can get conveniently in the cash shop, right? As for feedback, I'd say my biggest point of feedback from when I played was just the
Maybe
pacing of the start of the game felt really slow. Like most of the first like hour and a half or
It looks
so was a lot of talking.
way
to NPCs
different than
and
what I
hardly any
remember.
Combat, I would like if it was staggered a bit, where you get introduced to the game, you do some combat, you talk to an NPC, you go do some more
No,
exploration, do some adventuring,
maybe?
maybe play a mini game, and then you talk to another NPC. But it was just like
Yeah,
an hour straight
the
of
UI
cutscenes and
looks a
talking.
little
Like, you want
different.
more game in the game and less movie in the game, really. That's a personal point of preference. Beyond the gripes, though, it is a new MMO. I'm going to be playing it at least for a bit. I like to put these new games in the genre through their paces enough to get to max level and experience some of the end game. Blue Protocol Star Resonance will be launching on October 9th, coming to PC. Another game I'm incredibly pumped for this month is Battlefield 6. It's been a while since
I'm excited about Battlefield 6, but I'm also terribly like worried about Battlefield 6. Again, not because of the game, because of what happens after the game comes out with the Battle Royale and the Portal.
I really enjoyed and spent much time with a big AAA first-person shooter, but from what I played during the beta, Battlefield 6 may very well change that. I had a ton of fun, and I'm so looking forward to release. Now, it's a Battlefield game. This means you're going to expect a lot of hectic combat on a variety of maps and modes, some of which include the addition of vehicles added to the mix, while on-foot soldiers fight for control of various objectives. Now, during the beta test, I mostly played as the support class, using my LMG while healing and reviving allies, along with having the ability to resupply ammunition and place down makeshift covers, which helped a lot with those snipers on my team on the ridge in that snowy mountain map. They loved hanging out up there. I was happy to pop down some cover for them from the other snipers. Now, beyond the support, you've also got the assault class, proficient in assault rifles and grenade launchers, and favors run and gun playstyle. They have faster health regeneration. The engineer class specializes in submachine guns. They can repair friendly vehicles and also specialize in destroying hostile vehicles with rockets. And then the recon class can carry out battlefield reconnaissance using sniper rifles and is ideal for long-range engagement.
All right, we don't really need to see any more of this because it's coming out. We know. Next one is Painkiller.
Solid. Painkiller, a franchise from the early 2000s that in my mind was very much meant to be a Doom-like game. Well, it's back, making a return.
We've had plenty of coverage of Battlefield 6, so let's see what else is coming out in October.
Original, but with a new twist, and it's co-op focused as well. So you're going to be battling hordes of demons and titanic terrors across detailed gothic environments, either solo or in a group of up to 4. The premise is that you are trapped in purgatory, sentenced for your transgressions against heaven, but the voice of the creator gives you a chance to redeem yourself as one of the champions. You are out to stop the fallen angel Azazel, who is probably not saying that right, who is about to unleash his demonic armies onto Earth. So you're taking on demonic hordes, trying to stop the big bad guy, and in the process getting your ticket to the pearly gates. Some of the game's listed features include the ability to jump, dash, and hook across vast biomes while fighting enemies with a host of new and classic Painkiller weapons. You'll challenge a variety of enemies ranging from hordes of smaller demons to these titanic terrors, while also utilizing tarot cards to enhance your abilities and combine them with other players for combo attacks. And you're playing as one of 4 distinct characters, Ink, Void, Soul, and Raw, taking advantage of their unique perks to boost your energy, health, power, and damage. And given it's a co-op game, this combined with the tarot cards means you're probably running one of each character and different tarot cards to support each other, which sounds kind of cool. Also, they recently revealed this Rogue Angel mode, which is a rogue-like mode with procedurally generated arenas, unpredictable drops, and brutal enemies. Much like the original game reminded me of classic Doom, this reboot reminds me of the Doom reboots, which is kind of funny. I don't know, man. Honestly, the gameplay trailers look at least decent. Like, I'm really surprised. This could be a lot of fun. Keeping my fingers crossed. I also like this co-op twist that they've got here as well. The Painkiller reboot will be launching on October 21st, coming to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. And then we have got Arc Raiders, which by my estimation might just be the most anticipated extraction game that we've seen in a long time. There's a massive amount of positive buzz every time I see this game mentioned, and I think it's for good reason.
I think this is going to be a hit. I do. I lost interest to it when they talked about it from PvE to PvP VE. But the more I watch about it, the more I get more excited about it. Like I wishlist this right when they talked about it, when it was a PvE game. I've been watching a lot of people play it, like, past videos. I'm going to try the open beta. I'm interested in it more than I was before, but I'm still worried, but I think this is going to be a big hit.
The developer's prior title, The Finals, was very well received, and Arc Raiders is looking to also be a solid new game. At its core, it's an extraction shooter. It's got all the expected fundamentals of the genre, layered with some rather impressive visuals, audio, and a few unique elements on top. So yes, you're doing the usual thing, dropping in with a starter set of weapons and consumables, spawning at some random point on the outskirts of one of the game's multiple maps. From there, you go about exploring the environment, visiting different points of interest, and scavenging for loot. All of the points of interest are marked. It's going to give you a basic idea of the sort of items you'll find there, as well as the level of danger and threat. In the process, you'll be fighting enemies. There is the PvE, which comes in a form of various different types of ground and air robots. You got tiny little spiders that jump and cling to your face. You got small flamethrower balls that roll up to you and blast you with fire. Larger spheres that spin up and charge at high speeds, slamming into you. And then you got the much bigger spider mechs with lunging attacks and all sorts of artillery and high-powered weaponry on their shoulders. Numerous flying drones. You got assault rifle ones that shoot tasers and rocket launchers. And then there is the ever-present alarm drones that periodically scan the ground. If they spot you or another person, they make a loud-ass noise and send in some attack drones to your location, while also alerting any nearby players because of the noise. And yes, other players are a threat. It is a PvEVP extraction game. Whether you're playing solo or in a group, you're going to come across other players, and when you do, it's time to fight. PvP is a big part of this. Audio plays a big role. It's one of those games where every single little thing you do makes a very distinct sound. As you play, you're going to learn those sounds and know what they mean. This helps you figure out what enemies are doing around you. There are various events and hazards in the game as well to spice up the action, as well as multiple maps that you can drop into. Ultimately, just like any extraction game, you're trying to stay alive, get out, and take your loot with you. Doing this successfully lets you store the loot in your stash, and then you can also use some currency and resources to craft upgrades, making you stronger for the next run, re-equip yourself, pick your next map, drop in, and go again. Some of the big standouts, the things that I like the most from the time that I played with the game, the gameplay and feel is really good, solid feel.
Did you guys see that other one? It's an extraction shooter, Altered something, I think that's what it's called. I watched the video the other day, I forget what it is. That looks pretty sick as well, or at least different on an extraction base. It's like really like trippy.
A third-person shooter. Visuals are phenomenal, like jaw-dropping. Very good-looking game, especially a lot of the lighting and particle effects. It's just a beauty to behold. And on top of that,
Gotta hurt like a bitch sliding downstairs like that.
Performance was flawless when I played. Like I was running at a constant, non-fluctuating 120 FPS at a high setting too. It's really, really performed exceptionally well for me. The sound quality is really good. They've got those unique twists with the constant robot threat. And honestly, I can see this game's like looter shooter roots, because originally Arc Raiders was supposed to be like a third-person co-op looter shooter, kind of like a Borderlands or a Destiny or something, but then they kind of morphed it into this extraction version. But I can see that core, like the PvE.
I'm hoping because they started with it as a PvE, that they go to PvP/PvE, but they put a game mode in there to make it PvE. You know what I mean? Like run something like that, because the core was like that.
In this game alone is pretty.
I'm not saying they should go back and change it. I'm saying they should, if they started with the core and they made it into this, maybe they have a thing where it'll be a different game mode. Who knows? Probably not, but
impressive. Like some cool, interesting enemies to fight on top of the PvP element. So the last beta test they held went quite well. People seem to really enjoy the game. As I mentioned, a lot of positive word of mouth every time this thing is brought up. They do have another test coming in just a couple of weeks from October 17th to the 19th, and then the game will be officially launching shortly after on October 30th. Really looking forward to playing again. Definitely expect some coverage from me. All right, so those are the main games, like the ones that I am most excited for and interested in playing this month. But as mentioned, October is pretty jam-packed, and there's quite a few additional games that I think you should know about. Reviews are already in for Ghost of Yotai, and they are pretty good. The game currently got a rating of 87 on Metacritic and an 89 on OpenCritic, with a whopping 96% critic recommendation, which is a bit higher than they were for Ghost of Tsushima. Now, I do want to play this, but likely it's going to be the case that I'm waiting until the PC release happens, probably sometime next year. Nevertheless, for those of you PlayStation gamers out there, you got
what? You're not going to buy a PlayStation 5 for $800, Force Gaming, so you can play Yotai? You're not a gamer. I'm just joking.
a solid looking new title coming very soon. Ghost of Yotai is the sequel, of course, to the 2020 hit Ghost of Tsushima. This one centers around the theme of underdog vengeance, with the story set in Hokkaido, Japan in 1603, 329 years after the events of the last game. Players will be taking control of Atsu, a female warrior who adopts the persona of the ghost at the dawn of the Edo period. Developers have said that players will have more control over the game's narrative and choices compared to Tsushima, while building upon the great combat world and exploration of the first. I mean, people really liked the original game, and at least when it comes to critical ratings, I think the Metacritic rating is the same, but the open...
I have to say this looks 1,000 times better than Assassin's Creed Shadows, by the way. Take out the bullshit that happens outside of gaming about the actress and whatnot. The game itself looks 1,000 times better than Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Critic score as well as the critic recommendation are both higher. A lot of positive buzz around this. I know there's been some controversy about stuff as far as the game's concerned. Hopefully this turns out pretty good. Critic reviews at least say it may very well. Ghost of Yotai launches on October 2nd for PlayStation consoles. Still not sure if I'm saying the name right. I'm gonna guess the answer is no. Little Nightmares 3. This is an atmospheric adventure game in which you follow the journey of Lo and Alone, two friends in search of a way out of nowhere. This is one of those games that is really about the journey. You're moving through this really interesting environment, solving puzzles, attempting to to survive, and you're progressing the narrative. It's a narrative-based like exploration puzzle game. Each character comes with their own iconic item, a bow for low and a wrench for alone, and you'll have to work together as you sneak through hidden passages, hoist each other over massive obstacles, and watch each other's backs. So Lowe's arrows
This looks good. This is something I'll play down the road. I haven't even played the first one. I can see me and Sarge playing something like this.
And stunning enemies, smashing through barriers, and manipulating the workings of machines. The world is full of all sorts of horrific monsters. They're trying to make you their next meal. You'll have to run, hide, and defend yourself at a moment's notice to stay in one piece, all on the backdrop of this really haunting and gorgeous looking world. The first two games were pretty cool. Little Nightmares 3 is scheduled to release on October 9th for PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. All right, next up we've got Fellowship. This game's premise is simple. What if you took World of Warcraft's dungeons and just spun it off into its entirely own separate game? That is...
This straight up looks like World of Warcraft.
Fellowship in a nutshell. Referred to as a multiplayer online dungeon adventure, or MODA, set in an exciting fantasy world with endlessly scaling dungeons runs. Players must focus on working together as a team with an emphasis on skill, cooperation, and strategy to defeat bosses, collect loot, and work together to overcome challenges. The game features the Holy Trinity. You've got a couple of different options for each of the categories of...
It almost looks like Wayfinder, right? It almost looks like Wayfinder as well.
Tank, healer, and damage dealer, and you just do the MMO dungeon thing. You go together in a run, you use each of your strengths to clear the packs of enemies, to keep your team alive, and to take down the bosses. It's got group sizes of 4. You can, of course, queue with friends or get a random group of players via matchmaking. And one of the game's main progression features is the scaling dungeons, where you're increasing the challenge over time. As you progress, things get harder. Beyond increasing enemy health and damage, they add more mechanics as well as different modifiers. It's like WoW's Mythic Plus system, but again, in its own game. So I played in a previous test, and unfortunately, I didn't really love it. I was expecting that this was going to be something that I would enjoy as a big fan of MMOs. I like running dungeons. I thought this was going to be a sure bet for me, but it just didn't click for whatever reason. Now,
well, you took one game aspect and made it into its separate game. So it feels like it's missing everything else, you know? So I think this would be redundant really fast. It would get repetitive really fast.
That said, I'm wishing them all the best. I love the look of this game, and I'm going to be giving it another shot to see if whatever changes they've made are enough for me and that I'm really starting to enjoy it. Either way, though, if you're interested, Fellowship is coming to Steam Early Access.
Plus, it depends on, you have to have a group to play these things, right? You need a group to play this game. You can't solo it, right?
This on October 16th, and I wish them the best. Hope it goes well. All right, next up is Keeper. This is the latest game from renowned developer Double Fine Productions, creators of Monkey Island.
Oh, I forgot this is coming out. This is the lighthouse thing with
a long-forgotten lighthouse is awakened and joined by a spirited seabird, embarks upon a heartening tale of unlikely companionship and an unexpected journey into realms beyond
you're using it as a shell.
You play as a sentient walking lighthouse with a bird who helps you solve puzzles. In fact, the game is mostly about traversing the environment and uncovering clues to solve the various puzzles and obstacles in front of you. Looks cool, really silly and quirky in typical Double Fine fashion. I know this game is going to have a fan base, and I would like to give it a look if I have the time. Keeper will be launching October 17th for PC and Xbox. The long-awaited Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is coming this month. This is an action role-playing game that hopes to live up to the legend of its predecessor, although something tells me it may fall.
I haven't heard good things about the Bloodline 2.
Short. Unfortunately, this is one of those titles that has been fairly plagued with negative press during its development, from being stuck in development hell to multiple delays, and the recent revelation that some of the fan-favorite vampire clans would be locked behind paid DLC. I also saw an early preview that said the game was cool, but kind of boring, which isn't great either. Hopefully, they overcome these things. In fact, I think that DLC clan thing got walked back, although I'm not certain. Beyond that, though, the game itself, well, it's said to be an immersive role-playing game. You'll be sustaining yourself and powers through drinking blood, stalking and feeding on the city's population by night, and using supernatural powers of persuasion on civilians to lure them into deep, dark alleys and satiate your hunger, all while attempting to avoid breaking the masquerade, because that's the big no-no. If you do, you're either going to deal with human law enforcement or much, much worse. Combat is said to be rewarding different playstyles and approaches based on your choice of vampire clan. Hopefully you got one of the free ones. With options for melee range, fighting head-on, or taking a stealthier approach, you're going to be making your way through this modern-day Seattle on the brink of open war, your choices, plots, and schemes helping determine the balance of power and what becomes of the city. Vampire the Masquerade's Bloodlines 2 is set to release on October 21st for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. There's a new Ninja Gaiden, quite a blast from the past. This is an action-adventure game co-developed by Team Ninja and Platinum, the 7th mainline game in the Ninja Gaiden series and the direct sequel to Ninja Gaiden 3 from back in 2012. Key features include an improved combat system. You got different techniques. You got Bloodbind and Ninjutsu, legacy techniques. You got the Cadus wire grapple, real-time weapon switching, and the ability to go into a berserk state. The game features a new protagonist and is set in near-future Tokyo, where an ancient enemy has been resurrected. Ninja Gaiden 4 will be launching October 21st for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Then we got Outer Wilds 2, the next installment of the original sci-fi RPG from Obsidian. The first game from 2020 was
We might check this out.
Decently well-liked, scoring positive ratings on Steam. It's basically like a Bethesda RPG, but the light condensed version and a little more on rails, smaller zones.
Yeah, Jones, it could be interesting for just the raids, but it also might get repetitive real fast if there's nothing else to do, right?
more limited interactions and environments. The sequel is hoping to expand on some of what they built in the first game. We'll be exploring entirely new areas, building out our character with abilities and playstyles based on our preferences, enlisting companions with their own traits, backstories, and goals, all while uncovering the mysteries of a universe on the brink. People did enjoy the first game, however, the recently released Avowed kind of got lukewarm reception, to say the least, and there is a chance that impacts this game's launch, even though it's developed by an entirely different part of the studio, because Obsidian is a big studio. They didn't like release Avowed earlier this year and then in a couple of months put together the Outer Worlds 2. No, they're separate studios, but or they're separate teams within the studio, and I don't know, we'll have to see how this goes. The Outer Worlds 2 is set to release on October 29th, coming to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. We also got a couple updates and betas I want to tell you about. New World has this Night Haven update. It's adding a brand new...
I was actually thinking about going back to New World. Now, I have New World for PC. When we played the beta and stuff, when it came out for console, I was thinking about picking it up. I was thinking about picking this up and maybe maining this game for a bit.
New zone, this like spooky vampire themed area. There's new story quest lines, a new game mode of Catacombs where 3 players explore procedurally generated dungeons. There's a new raid, an overhauled endgame progression, and a new PvP map. This looks and sounds surprisingly like interesting and big, which is surprising to me because I honestly thought that most of the development team had moved on to that Lord of the Rings MMO, but there's a fair bit of content. I mean, a whole new zone, a whole new game mode, a new raid and PvP thing, whatever, but like those 2 other things sound really interesting. So hopefully I'll have time. I'd like to check this out. The Night Haven update launches on October 13th. And then as mentioned, we get that Arc Raiders playtest. This is going to be happening from October 17th and 19th. I definitely recommend checking it out if you're at all interested. The game's a lot of fun, so give it a look.
It's free on Luna and Luna app for Xbox. New World? So if I have Amazon Prime, I can play that for free? Okay.
Before it launches. You got a 3-day window there. Oh, and then also I just saw there are beta test signups for Outward 2. This is like a really interesting RPG with unique mechanics. The original was, and the sequel looks really cool as well, so I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, just on the Steam page, you can sign up to be a part of the playtesting for that game. Now, in terms of what I'm going to be playing this month, well, it's going to be, I'm going to be busy. We got Kingmakers, Blue Protocol, Battlefield 6.
Oh, not sure it's a question. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know myself, Luke. Sorry. I thought you were, I saw the question marks, but I thought, never mind. My bad.
Painkiller and Arc Raiders. Those are like the definitely want to play. Then if I have the time, I would like to follow up with Fellowship. I want to check out Keeper, and that New World update sounds cool. Like I would be interested in playing that. And yeah, and then if there's any access time, which I highly doubt it, any of these other.
All right, so there you go. There's a couple of games. Maybe you knew of them all. Maybe you didn't know, right? Force Gaming giving us some information. Go over to his channel, give him a like. That's going to do it for us here. We started a little late. Going past 12 a little bit. We used to go to like 12:30, but I try to do a hard out so I can go eat lunch because we're going to come back and play some Helldivers with Mr. Luke in just about half hour or so, 40 minutes or so. So if you guys like it, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. I do appreciate everyone coming out and hanging out with us. We're seeing new people come into this channel, which I do appreciate. Come on by, hang out, see our other stuff that we do on the channel. You guys have a great rest of your day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Day one hype, they sell us lies. on us to pay for their sins. Don't let the cycle keep rolling again. Stop buying broken buggy games. Don't feed the fire, don't play the games. Vote with your wallet, break the chain. Stop buying broken buggy games. Hey! 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 We hold the power in what we choose. Together we win or alone we lose. So take a stand, don't be the fool. Make them earn it, that's the rule. Stop buying broken buggy games. We want quality, not empty names. Gamers United will make the change. Stop buying broken